families at USO.org. The USO, until everyone comes home.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
To the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Dallas Cowboys have added another quarterback to their room. The boys made a deal with the New England Patriots for Joe Milton III. Cowboys get Milton and a 7th-round draft pick this year in exchange for a 5th-round draft pick this year. How about the underman Spurs knocking off the underman Denver Nuggets last night? Both teams with several key players on the bench. Spurs now head home to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow night. Blitz live at the Valero Texas Open right now.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Our office today is pretty damn nice.
Not a bad place to be, right? Watching some of the best golfers in the world right out here on the practice range. The breeze has picked up, which is very nice.
Yes.
Because it was pretty humid there for a while. But all in all, not a bad place.
Well, you know, we get into it 10. If you're coming out to the Valero Texas Open a little bit later or tomorrow morning to see the morning huddle guys, we're out on the practice range. So, you know, you're watching all these guys warm up before their rounds, but then they all come back after their rounds, or most of them do, and try to work on things. They got to fix things. So that is where we are. It's a brown tent. So as you're walking through going, I wonder where they are. Now, Greg Shelton, I'm not sure because most of it was closed up when we got out here, and it was a sweat box. But we've opened things up, and it's breezier now.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
The air is flowing through.
Now, one guy that might not be out here working on anything is a guy by the name of Keith Mitchell. He shot 64 today, just finished his round, 64 today, 8 under par. He's got a 2-shot lead as we sit right now. But a lot of guys have just gone out. The afternoon group has just gone out, including guys like Jordan Spieth and Matsuyama and some of those guys. So they're out there and really just 3-4 holes in.
Well, and the weather really is spectacular. A little warm, but thinking what the forecast was looking like and what we're getting, I imagine whatever prayers the Valero Texas Open types are having for at least the start of this thing were certainly answered, because I thought today could get a little dicey tomorrow, but all in all, it's pretty damn nice out here.
Yeah, I think we've been fortunate, that's for sure. If they get a little breeze, the wind is supposed to pick up, which will make this golf course a little bit harder than it is today. And once that happens, we'll see the scores a little bit lower. But the guys are taking advantage of it today for sure, especially the guys that went out this morning.
And it's always windy up here.
Always.
So when it's windy, it's almost like where are we type of thing. So pretty spectacular. So if you're heading out to the Valero Texas Open, you know where to find us, especially when you think about everything happening in San Antonio this week. Not only the Valero Texas Open, the Final Four, all 4 teams got into town yesterday. And I heard Keldon Sampson, the head coach at Houston, say, you know, we just played 2 road games in Indianapolis, Purdue and Tennessee. So I want to see a lot of red in the building. And it's interesting when you think about a program like the University of Houston. They are, at least across the country, the favorite to win through Twitter and data and hashtags and whatnot. Not BetOnline says that 42 states are rooting for Houston. 4 states are rooting for Auburn, 2 states for Florida, 2 states for Duke. The vast majority of the country is hoping to see the Cougars cut down the nets on Monday night.
I wonder why. I mean, they don't have any guys that are like flamboyant or out there or you know, I mean, they're a good team, very good defensively. But I wonder why the University of Houston, of all schools, is the favorite.
Well, and I was looking at this going, is it Duke fatigue? Do you hate Duke? Although Duke is one of those basketball brands that, you know, they have a fan base everywhere. They've got a Cooper flag. They've got, you know, it's Duke. Auburn, been one of the best teams all year long. You got Florida with the nationwide fan base. I just wonder if it's because you got 4 1 seeds, but the perceived underdog is the University of Houston.
Yeah, I suppose so. And they've got the toughest matchup, I think. Well, it's hard to say that with Florida and Auburn as well, but they've got a very difficult matchup on Saturday night for sure. That defense is going to have to be in high gear to shut down some of those Duke scores. That should be a great game. That should be the Florida-Auburn game as well.
I think all of it is going to be that way. And it's funny because we were talking earlier in the dining room here, the media dining with Vinny Vancetta from Ken's 5 and the photographer Jason Eggleston, because we're all in a pool together. And right now I'm in the lead, and I've got Houston in that one winning because I forgot to go back and change it like I did on my ESPN, because I generally like to have one bracket. But for money, I'd rather have money than bragging rights, right? Because in the bragging rights one, it's Duke. But the way our group is, Vinny was telling me, and I guess Phil and I did the math on this, while I'm in first place right now, there are 8 different dudes that could end up winning the whole thing depending on how things go this weekend.
Well, there you go. So you need Houston to win. If that happens, I would imagine you'll probably win.
Yeah. If Houston ends up winning, then I'll get that pot.
Well, you'll know Saturday night, brother.
Yeah, I will. Well, I'll have an idea if I'm in the money Saturday night.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. See, there's people like Reinagel who've been out of the money since the first weekend, so he hasn't paid attention to that.
No, actually, I wasn't out that early, but I took a chance, and I typically do that. And I guess I'm going to learn my lesson and not do it, because I had Wisconsin. I also had Michigan State coming to San Antonio, and obviously that didn't happen. So that kind of took me down.
And again, I've said this from when you do your first bracket, and you go, "There's no way 4 1s are coming here," but here we are. And so for you, all the people that typically go chalk, it bites them in the ass. This year, you went the route expecting the upsets, and we just didn't see it.
Didn't see it, and maybe that's a change in college basketball and college sports in general. I mean, really, the teams that are on the top, the most expensive teams that can afford to pay the money, are going to be the best teams moving forward. That's just where we stand, and to me, it's very unfortunate.
It really is. And you think about all the festivities happening downtown. Tomorrow, the Blitz will be live at the Flight by Yingling Hoop headquarters at the Agave Bar there on the Riverwalk, 2 to 6 tomorrow. That's your headquarters all weekend long. Whether you're going to the games or the concerts, Fan Fest, whatever it is you're doing down there, start over there with the Flight by Yingling Hoop headquarters there at the Agave Bar starting tomorrow, 2 to 6.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to being out here today. It's already been fun. It's just so great coming out here. It really is, because it's easy to get around. You walk around, easy access to the golf course, and following these guys, and food and drink all over the place. And so it's a fun place to come out. And I tell you, even if you're not a huge golf fan, it's a fun place to come out and just have some fun. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend and you're not going downtown, you should come here to the Valero Texas Open.
It is the social place to be.
No doubt.
When you think about, now there are people out here that are going to follow golfers and watch, every swing and critique and all that kind of stuff. And then you got other people that are out here for the party.
Exactly.
And from what I understand, guys, there are a lot of ladies that come out here that don't know anything about golf, but they understand that it's a target-rich environment. The dating app aspect of things that are going on out here. This is a great place to meet people. I did not know that until we had a meeting talking about who comes to the Valero Texas Open.
Well, that's interesting, and I mean that's pretty smart on their part. And some of them, we may be looking at you and me, Minix. Well, me, not you, but I mean they might be looking at some of these golfers. I don't know if all these cats are married.
I don't know. Well, I mean, you could tell the ones with white belts. Clearly, they don't give a damn anymore, so they're probably married.
Quite a few of them out there too, huh?
Oh, really? Can you count them? Actually, as I'm looking around,
yeah.
I don't see a single white belt except yours.
Well, mine, it looks pretty damn good too.
You can barely see it.
Well, true. Well, I got to stand up. I'll bless all of you watching on YouTube here
nobody
in a little bit
that.
Throughout the afternoon, so you can see the genius and the beauty of the white belt and how it fits in. So stay tuned for that. And if you're not on YouTube, you got to get there.
Now you can come find us out here at the Valero Texas Open. Near the practice range in a tent is where we are. You can see the white belt. And again, the long-running contest. If you get a selfie with Greg Shelton, grumpy-ass Greg Shelton, and he smiles in the selfie, we're going to hook you up with a prize. Now, Rob Zombie has actually taken a photo with grumpy-ass Greg Shelton today and got him to smile. Now, he's one of the volunteers here, and he's the one that was handing out the wristbands to go get food, to get lunch. And he would not give Greg the wristband without a photo and a smile. But it was free food that was there. So there is a way to get Greg to smile. And apparently, like any man, get him to smile is through his belly. And that worked today for Rob. Well, but it wasn't a selfie.
We got to set the ground rules, though.
Yeah.
I mean, is bribery allowed? I mean, because somebody walks up here and hands Shelton a $20 bill and he smiles, is that?
I don't give a damn. I mean, I just like to see my good friend Greg smile.
Would you smile for a 20?
Would he smile for a 20? No. 50? He doesn't get out of bed for a 20, but he might smile. Maybe 100. Maybe 100. Either way, an ice cream sandwich, I know, will make him smile because he's about 3 or 4 of those deep now. He said, hey, every time I see him, I was like, dude, how many of that have you had today? It's my first one. Yeah. He's had about 4 or 5 first ice cream sandwiches today.
Well, I can't fault him for that.
No, they're fantastic.
They're awesome. And
they're fantastic.
They're so readily available. I had to get the hell out of there.
Well, that's it. I would say, hey, Greg, do you want to run down there and grab some? But 1, he wouldn't. But 2, they wouldn't make it back. And it wouldn't be because they'd melt.
No, they wouldn't make it back.
No, they wouldn't make it well. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It is the Blitz here live at the Valero Texas Open. The Dallas Cowboys do have a new backup quarterback. We've been talking about this trade for weeks. It is finally done. The details coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Springtime is here and baseball season is finally underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond to your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs, you can take your pick of more or less for your shot of 1,000 times your money cash today. I'll say it again. That's today. Because on Prize Picks, you can match your player projections from different sports. Combine your favorite baseball players with your favorite basketball players. Maybe it's hockey. Maybe it's esports. Maybe it's something else. That's why you download Prize Picks. And what you do with Prize Picks is you win $50 instantly. Go download the app today and use the code Alamo. That's Alamo to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app right now. Use the code Alamo. That's $50 instantly. Just play your lineup. Prize Picks. Hey, go run your game. I love Prize Picks because I'm not alone. There's millions of us playing, and you can win. It's easy. More or less. You better go run your game now.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Many of the successes you've had began with a great opportunity. Now, here's another one. Get started on your degree or certificate in San Antonio. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs, faster onboarding, and more from University of Maryland Global Campus. Get personalized local support services and take online or hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-929-1313. 800-929-1313. Again, that's 800-929-1313.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The Valero Texas Open is a can't-miss event. Here's your chance to enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. You won't want to miss the next defining, unexpected, and winning moments at the Valero Texas Open. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. Buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 3rd through the 6th.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Saw a comment there on the YouTube there, Joe Reinagle, that some dude is actually eating chicken fried steak with ketchup.
And having a great day. What a great lunch that is.
He did not say that.
Well, of course he did. Why else would he do it?
I just said he was doing. No, he didn't say he was chicken fried steak with gravy and ketchup.
Well,
so
that goes without saying.
Well, I mean, most people with gravy aren't going to add ketchup, but you know, you have started a trend that didn't need to happen.
Well, I mean, all I have to do is educate the people on what's good.
Yeah.
And once I do that and they try it and they see what's good, and then there you go. And Steven there on YouTube is enjoying a nice chicken fried steak dipped in ketchup. Delicious.
With gravy.
With gravy, yes.
Not delicious.
It's
not. Hey, you do
fantastic.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do
I'm starting a trend here, so it's all good. Starting a trend.
Steven, we might need some photos at Joe Reinagle 210 at Jason Minix, if there's any left. 2:18, a little late for lunch, but I know people eat at all different hours. But you do you, man. The Dallas Cowboys are going to do what they do, and sometimes it really is head scratching. Now they've been talking about this trade for Joe Milton III. It's been rumored for weeks. It's one of those. I don't know that I minded at all versus I was expecting them to draft a quarterback. And it comes down to finances. Now, Stephen and Jerry haven't talked about it yet, but the obvious is they let Cooper Rush go. They weren't going to pay him a couple $1 million a year. That gets hurt. It doesn't matter, even though Cooper Rush proved to be a great game-ready quarterback. You draft somebody, who knows, if they liked Milton out of college, which, of course, they always say that about anybody they bring in. So I expect Steven to say, well, we really liked him coming out of college, right? He's got a year in the NFL. He's got 3 years left on his deal. He's making about $870,000 this year. But apparently, a lot of teams were interested in trading for him because he's the third quarterback there in New England. They're going with Drake May. The Cowboys were interested in some others that they couldn't get done. But apparently, the Patriots could have gotten more for him from another team, if you believe them. But out of respect for him, they sent him to Dallas because he always wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah, BS.
Joe Milton tells Jordan Schultz from Fox. Now, Jordan Schultz tweeted out, Joe Milton tells me, quote, my family grew up a Cowboys fan. My mom always had a Cowboys shirt on. She always talked about them. Living in Texas has been a long-time dream of mine, and now I'm with them. I'm ready to work. And if they could have gotten a better deal, I think they probably
Well, I don't know how much better of a deal they would have gotten. And they drafted the guy in the 6th round. They get a 5th-round draft pick back for him. So I'm not sure exactly how much better it could have been. But, hey, look, I'm saying it's not true, but I'm just saying that, it's the National Football League. I don't recall teams doing other teams any favor, or players for that matter.
I mean, you can only go with what you're reading. And, he became available. Other teams were interested in him, including the Raiders, Eagles, Giants, and Steelers, along with the Cowboys. Again, a tweet from Jordan Schultz from Fox. The Patriots had a better offer for Milton, but chose to send him where he wanted out of respect for him, according to a source. And again, they send Milton and a 7th to the Cowboys for a 5th, and the Cowboys have a whole bunch of 5th-round picks because of the compensatory picks. So do what you want. He's got 3 years left on his deal, but it tells me the Cowboys also won't be drafting a quarterback later this month when they're in Green Bay for the draft.
Well, and we talked about that too. It's really too early to do that. If you're looking for a quarterback in the draft that's going to eventually take over for Dak Prescott, it's a little early to do that since you've got 4 years left of Dak Prescott, or 3 years perhaps. After that, you could get rid of him. But look, I'm not mad at this. It's like Joe Milton III. Okay, we'll see. It's another shot in the dark for the Cowboys. They took one with Trey Lance. That didn't work. Jonathan Mingo, the jury's still out. And then here comes Joe Milton III. We'll see what happens with him. And with 3 years left on his contract, maybe he'll stick around in Dallas long enough to get comfortable, and really the Cowboys can get a look to see if this guy has any future as the next quarterback.
What I do like about this is, all right, you've got a guy, NFL experience. He did play in a game last year against Buffalo and looked pretty good. Had a great preseason last year, looked pretty good. And you never know. The idea of having him, if that many teams are interested in him, if there's an injury, maybe the Cowboys can get something more for him. And you've got Will Grier as the 3rd quarterback. I don't know. Joe Milton versus whoever they would have taken in the 5th or 6th round this year, I don't know that it matters. It might be one and the same. Or maybe they're looking at the quarterbacks that are available when they might be wanting to look at quarterbacks and went, Milton's better than any of these guys right now. And when you're that deep in the draft, it's all about your scouting and your evaluation. So I'm not mad at this, especially knowing that he's got 3 years left and he's cheap, and knowing the Cowboys being selectively aggressive, which means they are going to be cheap. This is Cowboys' MO.
Well, and I think what it tells you is they've locked down the backup quarterback spot. Maybe Milton and Will Grier will compete for that spot. There's a possibility that those two guys will have a competition to see who backs up Dak Prescott. But what it tells me is now they don't have to worry about it. And it looks like from every mock draft that I've seen here lately, and I'm talking about over the last couple of days, Cowboys are going wide receiver, running back, rounds 1 and 2.
Yep.
So that's what they want to do. They want to fill that void as well. They don't have to worry about quarterback. And then they start filling in other places that they can use some. And again, the Cowboys with a lot of draft picks, they still have the ability to make some moves during the draft. They want to move up or down depending on who they like and want. So they still have that option to do that. They've got a lot of bullets in the holster still. So pretty good shape. Again, this is a trade that I don't think anybody's going to go out and throw a party over. But it's not a bad move, and you got your backup quarterback, or at least you're going to have a couple of guys competing for that.
Well, and the other part too, according to Todd Archer at ESPN. The Cowboys in free agency targeted Jacoby Brissett. He, of course, signed with the Arizona Cardinals for more money than what I think the Cowboys were willing to pay. They also were looking at Drew Lock. Now, I watched Drew Lock play last year for the Giants. I think I'd rather have Milton than Drew Lock, to be honest. But also Todd Archer said that the Cowboys had conversations with Trey Lance last year during the season after Prescott had the injury, and they talked to Trey about an extension. And obviously that didn't go anywhere. I'm guessing it was a low ball extension. Trey Lance probably thought he could get more on the free agent market, although here we sit on April 3rd, and that dude still doesn't have a job, at least in the NFL. There's talk of Canada, but Trey Lance apparently didn't want to stick around to be a backup quarterback, probably at a low offer, feeling like he could go out and start. So it is interesting because, Dak has missed games in 4 of the last 5 years because of injury. And that's one of the reasons why, we were talking when they let Cooper Rush go to Baltimore, although for money, I get it. But having a game-ready backup quarterback is so important for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, just a guy that can come in and right the ship. You hope for not a long time. I mean, last year's injury obviously ended his season. There were a lot of games left to play. But if it's a 3-4 game stretch, you need some guy that can just keep the ship afloat until he gets back. So maybe Milton is that guy. Will Greer's been around a while. Maybe he's that guy. It'll be good for the Cowboys either way, whoever gets that starting or that second string job, a good competition in camp. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys bring in another body at some point in time, quarterback body, so they've got 4 in camp. Going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, they need one of those bodies. Is Ben DiNucci available?
Yeah, exactly.
Because
that's exactly right.
First day of OTAs is next Monday, April 14th, and they did release all their off-season days. They'll have their OTAs on the 14th, and then May 19th, 20th, 22nd, 28th through the 30th, June 2nd and 3rd, and June 5th. And their mandatory minicamp is June 10th through the 12th. Dak Prescott, how much will he participate in those? Watching those videos that he released the other day, he looks pretty good, but I can't imagine he goes through all these full practices. So they need another arm in there, I would think, just to get through working with the, second and third string guys. I would like to think Milton will get a lot of the first team reps in the early parts of these OTAs.
Yeah, I will say, I don't expect Dak Prescott to do anything. If he comes into training camp and is healthy, can do something there, I think that's a win. But I wouldn't take any chances with Dak Prescott early in these OTAs. I'd just leave him alone. If he wants to throw on the sideline or do something like that, fine. But I'm keeping him out and not taking a chance with Dak Prescott because, look, he's your guy. You're for lack of a better word, you're stuck with him for a while. So you don't want to see anything happen to him. If you've got any chance at all of making any noise at all, he needs to be upright.
Well, and again, what does he really need to do in OTAs?
Nothing.
Now, when they draft a receiver in the first round, that receiver, whether it's, on the DAC field in his backyard or it's, at the facility, I don't know does he have access to his backyard football field? Remember, he bulldozed his house.
I'm sure he does.
But I mean, if they're building the new one, I don't know.
He had a pretty big acreage out there.
True.
So I'm sure it's just fine. Although I don't know where he's living. He bring in a double wide or what? Hey, some of those are nice. I'm just saying.
Well, when you have that much money, does your house get built faster than normal?
I'm sure it does. Because Dak can go to the guy that runs the crew there and said, throw him a couple of bucks and let's get this thing done.
They built a McMansion in 3 weeks because they work 24/7.
You know what I find interesting, though, before we go away from this topic and backup quarterbacks, everybody on the planet that I've heard national guys and otherwise talking about Arch Manning. Everybody expects Arch Manning to play just 1 year at the University of Texas and then declare for the draft. I've heard them talking about Cleveland not drafting a quarterback this year because of that. I've heard them talking the Giants doing the same thing. And I find that interesting that Manning would only go 1 year. Now, maybe it depends on what happens this year. If Texas goes on to win a national championship, maybe Art says that's enough and I'm ready for the NFL. But I find it very interesting. And it reminded me when Sam on our YouTube channel said, hey, we should go 3-14 and hello, Arch. Everybody seems convinced that Manning's going to play 1 year and then be an NFL quarterback.
I think in normal times, whatever that means, that would be a safe assumption. In this NIL world, he might make more money staying in college. And it might ultimately depend on who's at the top of the draft. Now, we know Archie guided Eli. Would they do the same for Arch to get him where he wants to go? There was a lot of talk that could happen with Shedeur Sanders this year, although Dion is saying, no, he's not going to interfere. And it's weird when you look at mocks right now, and, Sanders continues to kind of slide in all these mocks. And normally as you get close to the draft, quarterbacks rise. But you almost wonder, though, in the NIL world, how much money is he going to make at the University of Texas? And whoever does have that first overall pick, is that where he wants to go? He could easily stay there and make more money. So I think all bets are off in assuming that, hey, man, let's tank the season because we're going to end up with Arch Manning. I mean,
we're hearing the same thing with Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg, he may wait until the draft lottery and decide whether he wants to go play in the NBA or stay another year at Duke, because he's making plenty of money at Duke. So he's got that option.
And it's weird because, in the old days, you would say, especially first-round guys, top overall pick, the amount of guaranteed money that they get. One more year at Texas is one more year at whatever that number is, say 10, 15 million. You're the number one pick in the draft. You're getting that for the next 4 or 5 years. And that was the good long-term play. That money's going to be there. Or you buy the insurance policy, and you've got all the money in the world now to buy that insurance policy in case there's an injury. And with Arch Manning, it's not like the guy ever has to work in his life. He's in such a different situation that while I expect him to play 1 year at Texas and go to the draft, I don't know that I would say I'd be surprised if he didn't stay in college. And more of these guys don't stay in college longer because of the amount of money they can make.
Now, let's keep in mind, too, and I mean this in all sincerity, everybody thinks Arch Manning is going to be the next greatest. We've seen Arch Manning play in 2 games.
Yep.
So while there's that hope, there's that optimism, there's all of that, I'd kind of like to see a full season of Arch Manning before deciding on whether he's the next coming of Peyton or even Eli, for that matter. So I think the jury's still out as far as I'm concerned, and I think I might be the only one that thinks that. But, I mean, we haven't seen the guy play. And I'll go back to this real quick, that he couldn't beat out Quinn Ewers. So how good can he be?
Or were there promises made that Quinn was going to be the guy if he stuck around, and Arch was good with that? I mean, but like the draft, you're in Vegas and you've got a futures bet on Arch Manning. Would you put money on that one? It's kind of a safe bet that he is going to be. If you would have put a futures bet a couple years ago on Cam Ward being the number 1 pick, we'd all have as much money as Cam Ward, because that ticket would have been worth a fortune.
Yes.
Which just proves you don't know, but that extra year of college is making a world of difference for one Cam Ward. Remember, a year ago, before he transferred to Miami, after a second season at Wazoo, he declared for the draft, got his draft grade, and ended up going to Miami.
For a boatload of money.
But also knowing Cam, I know where they wanted to see that draft grade, and whether he was going to the draft or not. And that decision to go to college for 1 more year, boatload of money or not, he's getting a bigger boat, a yacht now full of money, when he becomes the number 1 overall pick to the Tennessee Titans.
No question about it. And Pledge, I don't know if you caught that or not. I hope you did. What did you just say? It was a few minutes ago. You said something that reminded me of me. We just don't know. I think you said that.
Well,
Pledge, I hope you got that. I hope you caught that.
I don't know that I said it just
No, I think you said that. We just don't know.
But it's a safe bet.
But we just don't know.
Uh-huh.
You're coming around, Minix.
No.
You're coming around.
It's hot in here. It's hot in here.
Coming around.
I'm not sure. Live out here at the Valero Texas Open. 18 games in the NFL, could be sooner than we think. We'll get into the details coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th, for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2 Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw. during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th, with 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Our own Reverend Charles, everybody. Good morning, Rev.
You know, John, y'all little joke a lot, Captain joke a lot all the time.
Right.
And you funny.
Thank you.
J.D. Ryan, funny, Turley, Oak Creek Gate.
Bobo's most funny.
No, I don't find Bobo funny at all. Remember that old song by Randy Newman, Show People?
Yeah.
Got no reason to live?
No,
that's Bobo right there.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
And Doug. Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual.
Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's orchard.com.
San Antonio, the NCAA 2025 Men's Final Four is coming April 4th through the 7th. Check out Reese's Men's Final Four Friday, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you can watch open practices and the Reese's NABC All-Star Game at the Alamo Dome for free. And for the music lovers, March Madness Music Festival, presented by AT&T, Capital One, and Coca-Cola, with 3 days of free concerts, featuring the biggest acts in music at Tower Park and Hemisphere. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the InBody 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit roxdiscountvitamins.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
If you're looking to up your beer game, Karbach has you covered. From Hopadillo to Crawford Bach to Ziegenbach to their best seller, the Love Street, there's something for everybody in the lineup, and you can find it anywhere. Next time you're out and about, ask your bartender to make it a Karbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic on Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas is officially sold out. But you can still join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Celebrate with cold drinks, great food, and good times. The sold out San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic presented by Flight by England and sponsored by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes benefits the Pan American Golf Association.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're listening on one of the apps, appreciate it, sasportstar.com, or if you're watching on YouTube, glad to have you along on this Thursday. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live at the Valero Texas Open, TPC San Antonio.
I tell you what, it's a beautiful day. It is a little bit humid, but a little bit of a breeze. The sun is shining, though, and it's a great day for golf.
I would say wear a hat out here, especially like there's a dude over here on the driving range that's bald, and he doesn't have a hat. And I'm thinking that's he might regret that later.
Yeah, I think so. He's gonna shine for everybody to see tonight. That red head.
Although he does look like he wears a hat most of the time. Right now he doesn't, but right now he kind of looks like your socks. But that will change here in a bit.
Well, even the head needs to get a little tan. Right? I mean, so he needs a little tan on the top of his head.
Is that it?
That's it. Sure. There it goes. The hat.
Oh, he does have a hat. Yeah. Put it back on. All right, good. Looks like he's one of those coaches working with some dude that has clearly played his round.
Yeah, he's already done. So just working over some things that he didn't do correctly today out on the golf course.
See, this is what I like about pro golfers. That dude's got a body like mine. You would never look at him and say that's a pro athlete.
No, not at all. But he's a hell of a golfer, apparently.
He is.
I mean, if you're on the PGA Tour, playing at a PGA Tour event, he's got a hell of a swing, that's for sure. Been watching that guy for a while. Hell of a swing, although he's standing out there hitting golf balls, but he's lost 20 pounds. His shirt's soaking wet, for goodness sake. It's hot out there, man. But he's going through it. By the way, Keith Mitchell was hot today in a lot of ways. He's leading the tournament right now. He played this morning. Shot an 8-under par round of 64. The guy just sizzled out here. Brian Harmon is second at -6. Then you got Tommy Fleetwood, Mr. Mullet, in at -4, along with a couple of other guys. The defending champion is a guy by the name of Akshay Bhatia. He is through 6 holes right now. He's 1 under par, as is Jordan Spieth. He is also 1 under par through 6.
You think about last year's champion, and you mentioned earlier, that guy should be forced to eat a cheeseburger on every hole.
That dude is, I guess if he stands sideways, you can't see him. He's that skinny.
He looks, he probably eats a lot, like James Pledger. You would not believe the amount of food that guy eats and never gains an ounce.
Yeah, but he's even skinnier than Pledge, this guy.
True. But Pledge has 20 years on him.
Well, that's a good point, right? That's a damn good point. So, anyway, he's doing well. The afternoon group, I think, is going to have a little bit tougher, although the wind hasn't picked up all that much. It has picked up some. But the good news for the guys in the afternoon, it's not quite as humid as it was this morning. So we'll see how that affects anybody. But I don't know if anybody can match the 8-under par round that we've seen there from Keith Mitchell, who right now your leader in the clubhouse.
18-game season is going to be here sooner rather than later. It's not if they do it, it's when they do it. And, of course, with the owners' meetings happening down in Florida earlier this week, a lot of talk about that. And according to Pro Football Talk, talks between the NFL and the Players Association could begin as soon as June or July on adding another regular season game.
They're going to do it. I mean, they're going to do it. It's just a matter of when is that going to happen. So might as well just get it over with, get it done, get it through the They're going to have to get the okay for the players union, I'm sure. All of that will have to be. So get it done. I doubt it will happen in 25, but certainly I can see it for 26.
Well, and again, you think about, 18 games. Would that also extend the terms of the current collective bargaining agreement? You don't wait for the new CBA. Could they knock some of that out? I mean, it's interesting because there's been relatively peace when it comes to the labor agreement for a long time. And, because everybody is making money hand over fist. And so if people are making money hand over fist and you add another game in there, that's going to bring in even more money. But you do wonder, like, when they add it, I don't think they'll start a week sooner. They'll go a week later. And finally, you get into the Super Bowl President's Day weekend, and Monday following the Super Bowl would become a national holiday, which is something that a lot of us have campaigned for years.
Well, it doesn't do us any good.
Why?
National holiday?
Dude.
You think we're taking a day off after the Super Bowl?
I mean,
no, is the answer you're looking for.
I'm thinking about for everybody else.
Yeah, you're such a nice guy.
I am a nice guy.
You're like the New England Patriots now. You're doing whatever the players want.
I mean, total team player.
Yeah,
here.
that's it.
And, if I got to work on a holiday, I will work on a holiday during football season only.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not football season. I'm not working a holiday.
No, I hope that happens. That would be good for everybody. And then that Sunday would be a bigger party day than it is right now. So that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when and how they can work it all out and get it all done. So 18 games is coming. And look, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. More NFL football, the better I like it. And let's get it done.
Although, thinking how the NFL thinks, could you imagine if Monday was a holiday, if they moved the Super Bowl to Monday, and then you think about the party weekend that is in every Super Bowl city and the amount of money made, if they were to add one more day and then play the game on Monday night, all those cities would love it because there's extra hotel nights and all of that. If Monday were a holiday, because the one thing the NFL doesn't want, and you just brought this up, is people not at work the next day talking about the game and talking about the commercials and everything else. So maybe they would start a week early just to avoid having a lot of people not going to work the Monday following the Super Bowl.
Everybody's used to that anyway. That hangover, I'm sick.
Well, it's not a productive day, but people still go.
Well, I guess. But it's a fun day because you want to talk to everybody about everything.
Yep.
So it's a fun day. I don't want a Super Bowl on a Monday night, though. I don't care. And remember, it's not about the people that go to the game, Minix. We've established that.
Yep.
It's about the people that watch it on TV.
Correct.
So the hell with those people. The hell with the extra hotel nights. The hell with them. Keep it on Sunday.
But what do the TV dollars say are going to be better? I don't know. We know the NFL wants it. The Players Association know that it's coming. And eventually they're going to get there. And do they do it by reducing preseason to 2 games?
Yes.
Which
yes.
I think we would all be for.
I think that's fantastic. 2 games is plenty. I mean, when it was 4, it's ridiculous. So 2 games is plenty. Let's get this thing done and get on and play some real football.
Well, and you talk about real football, and obviously a lot of lawyers are going to be involved in the discussions about 18 games. And also, apparently lawyers could actually end up being involved in whether the tush push gets banned or not. It got tabled in Florida, but they're going to bring it up again at the meetings next month. And so they're still looking at it. But there's a report out that they might actually get lawyers involved to kind of nudge its way to make the tush push not happen.
Well, it's the NFL's fault that they did that. The NFL used language, according to this article, they're concerned about a catastrophic injury waiting to happen. That was a claim by the NFL when talking about this. And when that catastrophic injury phrase was muttered, the lawyers' ears perked right up and said, "Oh, here we come." Mm-hmm. And so that's where it could happen. So look, I think the tush push is going to be gone anyway. I think it'll be gone in May and it'll be done. But if it's not, you can expect the lawyers to get involved, and then the NFL will really have no choice at that point in time.
Well, that's because the doctor, Dr. Sills, who's the NFL doctor type, He said it's not if but when a catastrophic injury occurs.
Right.
And because of that phrase, when it does happen, the lawsuit's coming because they knew this was going to happen and they didn't do anything about it.
That's exactly right. And so the NFL certainly does not want anything to do with that. This thing's going to go away. And I predict it's going to go away when they get back together in May. It will be voted out, and it will become illegal. Whether you like it or not, I have no problem with it. But the NFL, they don't want any lawsuits or catastrophic injuries.
Again, isn't every football game you line up and a catastrophic injury could happen?
Sure, just don't say that because some lawyer's going to give you a call.
I know that. You know that.
Uh-huh.
You know the risk.
Well, sure. But if you say it,
but
the lawyers come calling.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but here's a waiver in case a catastrophic injury happens. You can't sue us. Right?
I tell you. It's coming. The tush push is gone. Mark my words. It will be gone.
Yep. Other NFL news, kind of interesting. The all these new stadiums, the Cincinnati Bengals might be moving out of Cincinnati, although not far. But I don't know why. Again, I don't live there. I'm not passionate about it. I don't know why they're making such a big deal out of this. Like the Cowboys play in Arlington. Although then I see, like, if Cincinnati moves out to a suburb, and I'm like, well, who cares? Although I'll put it, all the talk about the Spurs, like moving to New Braunfels or San Marcos, or that would piss us all off. So I get where some Cincinnati types are upset, but it's like Cleveland also wants to move out to the suburbs. Football is different than basketball, but because there's, the one game a week type of thing, and it's an event, you're going to travel wherever. I think basketball is a little bit different, but trying to put myself into those that are outraged in Cincinnati about this, I think I'd be outraged if the Spurs talked about moving to, somewhere between here and Austin to be more central. Although when we've talked about NFL in San Antonio, we've talked about it being somewhere up and down the I-35 corridor.
Yeah, but again, you hit the nail on the head. It's an event. You go, once a week to an NFL game, you can plan that. If you're talking about 3 or 4 games a week in the NBA, makes it a little more difficult for people to get there. I'm sure people would still do it, but the NFL's got that luxury because they only play once a week, and so I don't think it's a big deal. But look, I mean, if they can get better deals outside of the big cities, I don't see an issue with it, quite frankly. Now, as far as the Bengals are concerned, their current lease expires on June 30th of 2026. There's an option to extend that for a couple of years, but that's coming up here on June 30th of this year. So we'll know a little bit more when the calendar moves to July, whether the Bengals are thinking about leaving Cincinnati proper and heading out to the suburbs.
Well, and the term geographic free agent comes up.
Yeah.
And you wonder if they don't get a new deal there in Ohio, where could they ultimately go? Project Marvel? Could San Antonio be, and again, we'd be the carrot again, but you wonder, would Cincinnati actually leave the area, not just go to the suburbs, but just completely leave the area?
Dude, we'd have to get it done. Can you imagine having Joey Burrow in San Antonio?
Dude, by the time this all happens, Joey Burrow might be done.
Joey Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Let's go.
I'd be down with that. I don't see it happening. And again, if it were to happen, I think by the time that everything did happen, those guys would be at the tail end of their career if they're playing at all.
Well, that's absolutely true. And they'd have to, sell half of that franchise to the San Antonio Spurs.
Here we go.
So there you go. I mean, that would all have to happen.
The Spurs, the biggest roadblock.
Yes, they are.
And, I think about, Ron Nuremberg, our current mayor, has always talked and said he thinks big. And I know he would push for this, but he's on his way out. All these dudes that are running now, because aren't there like 814 people running for mayor?
Bunch, yes.
We might need to start doing some research and figure out who is the most sports-minded of these mayors.
That's a good point.
Because right now I have no idea where any of these guys stand when it comes to things like this.
I have no idea, but there are a few running for mayor. Some, you drive around, you see the signs, and I've never heard of any of them. So, we got to do our research. It's hard, though. For these little elections that take place kind of out of the norm and all by themselves, a lot of people just don't show up to vote.
Yep.
So do your research, folks.
Definitely do your research for any election. Like, how does somebody feel about sports gambling? Do your research.
Do your research.
Do your research. Forget parties. Find the right people.
Absolutely do that.
Hard Knocks has made some changes on who they can force, that's the right word, to do the show. We'll give you the details coming up here on the Blitz, live at the Valero Texas Open here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You come out here to the Valero Texas Open, you see us, see Greg Shelton in a nice 94.1 shirt. That was made over at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. You need your logo on any kind of shirt, any kind of gear, Sam is the place to go. He's got his entire spring line on display right now in his showroom. So if you need your logo on a golf shirt, a fishing shirt, you need T-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. If you need caps made, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, the Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Sammy has all the big name brands: North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Under Armour. Go in and see them. Nobody has better prices. Sammy is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small. You need one item, a dozen items, 25,000 items, more, less, you name it, Sam will get it done for you. Call them, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Join us for San Antonio's premier fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by HEB, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147, or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Out here at the Valero Texas Open, it is round 1. It is underway, but right now we've got a leader in the clubhouse. His name is Keith Mitchell. Blistered the course today, 8 under par round of 64. Dallas Cowboys have added another quarterback to their room. Boys made a deal with the New England Patriots for Joe Milton III. Cowboys get Milton and a 7th-round pick this year in exchange for a 5th-round pick also this year.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live at the Valero Texas Open out here at TPC San Antonio. A gorgeous Thursday afternoon.
Oh, it's outstanding out here. You know, the sun kind of in and out of behind the clouds, and it's not quite as humid as it was. A lot of folks walking around, families having some fun out here at the Valero Texas Open, and some of the pros that have finished their round for the day working on stuff that they don't think they did very well today.
Although you look at some of the scores and you think, man, although long tournament as it always is, but you wonder with some of these guys how much they're paying attention to the forecast for the weekend, because weather could have some adjustments to this thing over the next couple of days.
Well, I tell you what, with the 8 under par round today, that's pretty strong. The wind picks up like it's supposed to do as we move forward. It's going to make this golf course that much more difficult, and we won't see those scores that high, even with the best of the best playing out here. So it's going to be a fun weekend out here at the Valero Texas Open. There's no question about it.
You know, it's always fun watching these guys and just how damn good they are.
Oh, my gosh.
In this tent that we're in, if you're coming out here, we're out by the driving range and practice area. But there's TVs in here, and we're watching. One, the course looks spectacular on TV.
It really does.
You know, every shot of the JW Marriott, the grounds, San Antonio. City looks spectacular for this great weekend, not only with the Valero Texas Open, but the Final Four and the Chuck blimps that are flying around. What great advertising for Capital One. My goodness. I don't know what it costs to buy a blimp. They got 2 of them out there, but every other picture you see on social media is of one of those things. And even on the broadcast here, like, hey, look, there's a blimp. Oh, it's Chuck. He's flying over. But you just look at it and watch just how accurate they are. Now, I know you fancy yourself as a solid golfer. I know I couldn't come close to that, right? I like it when these guys seem to struggle when they hit one like I would.
Nobody hits it like you do, Minix. Okay, I mean these guys, even though their worst day, don't hit it as bad as you do.
There are some out there that are looking, and they're, it's not just a perfect stripe down the fairway. I mean, generally I don't root for people not to have a good day at the office unless you're kicking for the other team, right? But here it's nice and refreshing every now and then when you see somebody just completely screw things up.
You're not going to see that very often out here.
No. So when you do, it's like the chupacabra, right? Like you like, doesn't happen often, but you like seeing it.
Nobody wants to see that. These guys are pros.
Uh-huh.
It's like your boy Dak Prescott throwing a pick six.
So
you don't want to see that.
I don't, but you seem to you love that.
Well, I kind of chuckle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Love that.
I'll chuckle a little bit.
You love that.
But I'm just saying, they're pros. You expect the best.
You have the leaderboard up right now. Who's in dead last right now?
Let's see. Let me get down here to that.
And whoever's in dead last, I would kill to have a day like that on the front nine of a golf course.
Now, keep in mind, still a lot of guys out there, but on the leaderboard right now, there are two guys that are tied for last. Tom Kim and Jared Jones, both at 5 over par, shot 77 today.
See, I would love to have a day
Absolutely.
like that. I don't know that
So
I
would
could
I,
do that
as
on
a
the
matter of
front
fact.
nine out here.
I mean, out here, 77 would be spectacular. So, yeah, but these guys get paid a lot of money. That's what they do. They're pros.
Uh-huh.
So you expect better from them. But, look, these guys, unless they just come back with something spectacular tomorrow, will not make the cut, and they won't be here for the weekend. Trying to see if there's some other names that are struggling out here today. I don't see any big names that are struggling. Hideki Matsuyama's +1. Maybe you say that. He's a hell of a golfer. There's no question. We look at a guy like Jordan Spieth is -1. Corey Connors is even par. He's won this golf tournament a couple of times. So the scores aren't – this is a challenging golf course, even for these guys. And the fact that somebody comes out here and posts an 8 under par round to 64 is spectacular. Even Brian Harmon, a 66 today, is pretty spectacular.
Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
Hard knocks. We'll get there, Joe.
Oh, I thought Hard Knocks. You're talking about the mayor.
We're going to get there. Not our mayor.
Oh, no, not our mayor.
Hard knocks. They've changed rules for who can be forced to do hard knocks. You can't tell them no. And of the rule changes, the can't be a first-year head coach, so the Cowboys can't do it this year. Playoff team, all that. So now there are 20 teams that are eligible for this year's Hard Knocks. And if Hard Knocks picks you, you can't say no. Arizona, Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Carolina, Cincinnati, Denver, Green Bay, Houston, Kansas City, Indy, Miami, Minnesota, the Giants, the Eagles, Steelers, San Francisco, Seattle, Tennessee, and Washington.
Now, see, well, the Giants were the out of season, right?
Well, they were off season, but 2 years ago.
Okay,
so they're eligible for this. They did in season last year. Apparently, they've changed the rules. But when you look at that, I think Kansas City could be interesting just because of the star power there. But honestly, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Washington.
Yeah.
I think Washington with Jaden Daniels, with everything they've added, with Dan Quinn, I think it would be interesting to see just the complete culture change that they have had after little Danny Snyder was forced to sell the team.
Yeah, that will be interesting. But if you work for Hard Knocks and you're a producer and you're making that decision, you're going to see where some of the characters are, right? I mean, that are playing football. Washington would be good, and go down that list. I don't know. I'm not going to watch it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
I mean, Philadelphia with Sirianni and all the tush push conversations, or how they practice it. If you were able to see that, we saw Houston before. Now, granted, Houston's a little bit more interesting now than they were. That was just, I don't know, the J.J. Watt show, back then. But Houston would be interesting. Buffalo would be interesting. But some of these other teams, boring as hell.
Yeah, I don't know. They would have to sell me on it. I'm not going to watch it. You can tell me all about it, Minix.
I will.
Okay. Yeah.
Although last couple Hard Knocks, I start and I don't finish because they haven't been as compelling. And I think part of that is we see so much on social media, and these teams do such a great job now of putting out content that the specialness of the behind the scenes that Hard Knocks offered just isn't there anymore.
No, it's really not. It was a good, clever, gimmicky type of show where you got to see things you don't get to see. Now that's kind of changed a little bit. And with the Giants debacle, I would imagine they're trying everything they can do not to be chosen again. After they got completely exposed as fools, They're probably doing, hey, Goodell, we'll bribe you, whatever. We don't want to do it.
Again, the term forced is in there for a reason. You can't tell them no. Forced is also a good term here, or hard knocks. The mayor of Minot, North Dakota, has been forced to resign. He resigned.
Because he started and finished.
Yes. On video that he sent to the city manager, who's a female. Now, he meant to send it to his girlfriend, he said, whose name begins with a C. And in his phone, the city manager's name, he just has city manager in his phone. So that's his reasoning for sending a video of him on his lunch break masturbating. And he sent the video to the female city manager. And then he tried to tell her, dude, I made a mistake. Can we keep this between us? And she said no. And she reported it. And now he has resigned.
Well, he says he tried to send it to his girlfriend. Now, I'm just curious. And I don't know this. Ladies, you're going to have to help me out here.
No, she doesn't want to see it either.
Oh, who the hell wants to see that?
Nobody.
I don't care how, if you have hot sex and you're all over each other and you're madly in love. Do you really want to see your guy laying there pleasuring himself?
Well, I mean, and he was at lunch. I don't know. He might have been at work. It's
maybe he needed some topping for that salad. I don't know. I mean, that's
tell me you didn't just say that. Good Lord.
Goodness gracious.
To make matters worse, the city manager said that she got the video shortly after a phone conversation with the mayor talking about the suicide death of a local cop. And she can't believe that conversation led to, all right, I'm going to hang up and then you pleasure yourself on video. It's so bizarre.
It's ridiculous. You look at this guy, it's a picture of him with a big old smile on his face. It must have been taken right after that happened. I don't know.
He's happy.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Some of these stories are just bizarre. But the first thing I thought about is, who the hell wants to see that?
Nobody.
But his girlfriend must. Why was he sending the video to his girlfriend?
How do you accidentally send that video to anybody?
You don't,
right?
He's got a crush on the city manager.
Just keep this between us.
Between us.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now you're.
Well, I have a pretty good rub.
And you're in Minot, North Dakota, right? You're going to have to move, right? Don't you think at that point you've just got to move?
Yeah.
How do you continue living there?
You don't. You've got to get the hell out of there. But just bizarre. And there's some freaks around in this world. That's for sure.
Yep. Especially in the Denver area, there's a freak there, according to the Denver Gazette. A woman in Silverthorne, Colorado. Now, I don't know where Silverthorne, Colorado is, but it's in the Denver area. She called the cops and reported a man that was throwing bags of dog poo into her yard and onto her driveway.
Uh-huh. Well, the reason he was doing that, because it was her dog who was pooing in everybody else's yard. So he got upset and scooped it up and gave it back to her.
At least he bagged it.
I'm just like, that is something that I lived in an apartment for a little while, had a couple of dogs, and you'd have to walk them. And there were little bag stations all over the place where you're supposed to pick up the poo. Well, I would do that. Even though it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But you do it out of courtesy for everybody else. But you'd be surprised how many people don't. Now, unless the dog went into a bush where you can't see it or something, I wasn't diving in there to pick it up. But I'm just saying, if it was out in the open, I'm picking up the poo. So I don't blame this guy. I would explain to the cops this, dude, this lady's a nuisance.
Well, I mean, he did, but is that the right way to handle it without getting yourself in trouble?
I'm just giving it back to her. She gave it to me. She must have lost it by mistake. So I was just returning it to her.
Uh-huh.
Unbelievable.
There is nothing more aggravating, though, that when you go in your front yard and you see somebody else's dog poo.
Yes.
And nothing drives me more nuts in this kind of topic is when I'm looking at the cameras and I see on video somebody standing there watching their dog take a crap in the front yard and then they don't pick it up.
In your front yard?
In my front yard.
Well, it's kind of like I guess you don't have a choice, right? If you're walking your dog in the first front yard you come to.
I mean, it's not the first, but it's the one at the time where he needed to go. But if you're walking your dog, you're supposed to have those bags with you. I saw your brother today picking up dog poo, walking his dog.
You see that?
Yeah.
There you go. It's a good dude.
Almost stopped talking to him, but he was busy. So.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the little white dog today. It was the other dog.
Well, they only got one dog.
No, it wasn't the little white dog.
Oh, okay. Well, he may be babysitting.
Okay.
For one of his kids.
Maybe.
That's a possibility.
Hey, call him and ask him.
No, I don't give a damn. But it is pretty disgusting, even when your hand's in that bag, to grab that big pile of steaming poo and bag it up. I mean, it's disgusting.
Hold on, Greg. Hold on, Greg. Will you put on headsets there for
Greg Shelton, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, dog crap talk is going to get Greg Shelton fired up.
I will almost bet you money that you've picked up one of your children at one point or another, and either did one of two things: put your finger in there to see what's in there, or you put it up to your face and smelled. So you're telling me that you would rather have this in your face than in a bag on the end of your hand?
Well, my kids all were stinky poopers, so I mean, you really didn't have to. You really didn't have to check it out. But I see where you're coming from. But it's still disgusting, whether it's a dog or my kids.
No, I don't know how many diapers Ryan Engel has changed in his life, but I'm pretty sure he's never put his nose just to check.
No,
because I know this about Joe, and I'm the same thing. I don't need to get close. I'm going to smell that baby could be over there. I'm like, oh man, that needs a diaper.
Yeah,
and then you find something else to do until somebody else changes that diaper. He had the grandbaby not long ago for a week, and I know you didn't change a single diaper.
Not one.
Not one.
No.
But if you're holding the baby, you're like, oh, here, you want to hold it?
Well, this kid was gassy. So, I mean, there were a lot of that going on, and so you kind of knew what was happening, and his face would turn red.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, woo.
And then you handed it off.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
You're damn right I did.
So, Greg Shelton, you stick your finger in there to check? That's gross. Seriously?
No, I've never dealt with a baby. What the hell? What? I have seen people do these things.
Hold on.
Just not. I mean, just kind of.
No, you don't know.
To see if it's wet or.
Is that real? No.
I'm serious. I've seen people do that.
No.
And more importantly, I have seen them raise their baby up to their face.
Well, you just got to get a good whiff. But I've never heard of this. Let's stick a finger down there and see if
I've seen it.
You've seen it, Pledge?
Yeah, I've seen it too.
That's a thing.
I've seen that happen too.
Really?
I've never done it, but I've seen it happen. Yes.
Why?
Well, because
supposedly you have to love this child and clean up after that.
Well, look. I mean, wiping a child and taking care of it. And I've done it. I mean, I used to get in trouble with my wife because when it was really bad with Erica when she was a baby, I used to hose her off on the back porch, and I would get in trouble with that with my wife every time. But I didn't care, especially when it was explosive, if you know what I mean. There's not enough wipes in the world for that. I'm just going to hose you off.
I think that's genius.
But the idea of sticking a finger in there just to check, no.
Especially if there's poo in there.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if you think, just change it and be sure. I'm not doing a check that way. Oh, no. My God,
I'm not doing that either.
No. Well, I learned something today I didn't know I needed to know.
Well, there you go.
And now,
so whenever you have grandkids, Minix, you know what to do. Stick your finger in there.
That ain't happening. I mean, you will probably be closer to changing a diaper with your grandkids than I will with mine.
Well, that ain't happening. It's not.
Knuckle down and go a little harder.
No, Pledge, no.
Not happening.
No. Speaking of crap, the Spurs played last night, and they won. Because the Nuggets didn't try. Our subs beat their subs. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First of all, I got to tell you about Stevens Roofing. Been talking about Stevens Roofing for a long time now. Really proud to do so. It's a family-owned company, local company, and, well, they deal with the same weather that you and I do, and that's important. They know what's coming, and they know what time of year it is right now. It's springtime. That's when we have those thunderstorms that are in the forecast, by the way, coming up. With the hailstorms, the wind, the rain, the lightning, all of that kind of stuff. and it does damage to your roof. Obviously, if we have one of those and you think your roof has been damaged, you want to call somebody that you know you can trust, not one of these fly-by-night roofing companies that's going to sell you a bill of goods and then leave town. Stevens Roofing has been here for so long. They've got so many satisfied customers. You want to go with somebody you can trust, and Stevens Roofing is that company. In fact, the folks at Stevens Roofing and Solar will make sure your roof is in top shape to protect your home and family. They will come out for a free, no-obligation roof inspection. All you have to do is call them at 210-785-0994. And whether you need a new roof, a minor repair, or a simple confirmation that your roof is in great shape, they're going to give you the peace of mind that you want when those storms come rolling in. Stevens Roofing, best in the business. They are here, and they're not going anywhere. Give them a call, and remember this number, 210-785-0994.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic on Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas is officially sold out. But you can still join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Celebrate with cold drinks, great food, and good times. The sold-out San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes benefits the Pan American Golf Association.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Where was that? Where in California?
Lancaster.
Where's that?
I think it's just northeast of San Diego. Right,
Gigi?
I don't even know what northeast is. Why do you people talk like that? Go left, go right. Not northeast of the southwest division of the blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that is.
We use a thing called a map, and on a map...
Shut up!
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys over 40, tired of low energy, just not feeling like yourself? Testosterone replacement therapy by Synergenics is the answer. Don't waste time waiting for online services when you can start today. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it is covered by most major insurance. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, see a medical provider, and feel great today. During April, the consultation is free. Why wait when you can be seen now? Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Feel like you again.
What do you call charging thousands of dollars for hearing aids? At MD Hearing, we call it outrageous because hearing should not be a privilege for the rich. It's a basic need everyone deserves. Hi, I'm Dr. Sandra Porps, head of audiology at MD Hearing. If you or a loved one have trouble hearing but don't want to waste thousands for a hearing aid, MD Hearing was created for you by doctors and audiologists. A high-quality, FDA-registered hearing aid for a fraction of the price. No costly doctor visits, no expensive and time-consuming fittings, no bulky, old-fashioned hearing aids that cost thousands. The MD Hearing Neo is just $297 per pair. It's rechargeable and fits discreetly in your ear. Even better, it lets you hear what you've been missing at a savings of more than 90% off the average price of a traditional hearing aid.
Try MD Hearing risk-free for 45 days by calling 800-918-3920. Plus, you'll get free shipping. Call now, 800-918-3920. That's 800-918-3920.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-929-1313. 800-929-1313. Again, that's 800-929-1313.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code GROW. swishradio.com, code GROW.
When you switch to Progressive and bundle your home and auto, you could save hundreds, and that's a surprising amount of money.
Whoa, that's like farmer's market money.
That's like give me a gallon of that locally sourced raw honey money.
That's certified organic heirloom tomatoes in every imaginable color except red money.
That's let's get 2 pounds of pink oyster mushrooms money. I'm not even sure I like pink oyster mushrooms.
Guess it's time to find out, because you could save hundreds when you switch to Progressive and bundle. Then the world is your pink oyster mushroom. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G-Defy Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th, with 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live at the Valero Texas Open. The Morning Huddle will be here tomorrow morning. You just heard A.J. Hoffman talking about the perfect ride to work. It will start here at the driving range for those guys tomorrow morning early. Tomorrow afternoon, the Blitz will be live on the Riverwalk, the Flight by Yingling Hoop headquarters at the Agave Bar. We're out there 2 to 6, so if you're going downtown for the festivities tomorrow, stop by and start with us, because Beer Santa and the crew will be there. And all weekend long, Flight by Yingling will be set up at the Agave Bar, the Flight by Yingling Hoop headquarters.
That's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. A lot of fun all weekend long, in fact, because you got your choice of things to do. You know, we can't take for granted the enormous sports weekend that we have here in San Antonio with the Valero Texas Open taking place and the Final Four. That's an incredible weekend.
Well, and add to it, the San Antonio Missions have their home opener tomorrow night and their first homestand through this weekend, which is very, very cool. You also have the Spurs. They'll be back home. And they got their 32nd win last night. The Nuggets said, we got the Spurs. Everybody gets a night off except Russell Westbrook. And the Spurs didn't really play a whole lot of people. They tried to lose that game in the third quarter, but they tripped into a win last night, win number 32, which was important for one guy in particular, Chris Paul, who played well last night. $262,000 bonus for team wins. His team win bonus was set at 32, so he was able to make an extra $262,000 with the win last night.
Not bad for Chris Paul. Happy for him. That's good. $262,000. 32 wins. That's 10 more than last year. Are we calling the season a success?
No, because I'm guessing when they put 32 in there, that was probably one of those, all right, Chris, here's what we're going to do for you. Here's an easy, attainable bonus, 32 wins. Because I think a lot of people, including me, thought that they were going to go around 500 this year. I want to say at the beginning of the year, wasn't the over-under like 38.5? And I know I took the over. And I know I am not going to be able to cash that ticket.
No.
Now, Chris Paul is in no hurry to shut it down because, according to Bobby Marks from ESPN, he still has an additional $523,000 in other statistical incentives that are very reachable for him at this point. I don't know the specifics other than what Bobby had tweeted out. So I imagine he's still going to continue to play because he's got another $500,000 and change riding on playing good basketball.
Absolutely. So he's going to keep playing. What are there, 6 games left in the season? 6 or 7, I think.
Too many.
And it's roughly, it's right in there somewhere. So whatever he's got to reach, hopefully they are within reach and he gets them. And then Pop or whoever's the new coach can maybe put him on the bench.
We'll see. Westbrook played almost 40 minutes last night, led the Nuggets with 30 points. But for the Spurs, I mean, well balanced, including 17 from CP3. Castle struggled shooting the ball, but finished with 15 points. And, quite frankly, like I said, they got outscored in that third quarter. Thought they were going to blow it, which seems to be the mission, yet they didn't.
Well, where I was impressed, and I will say that with the young kids that were playing last night, with the exception of Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul, Denver actually took a 5-point lead late in that game.
Yep.
And the Spurs came right back and shut them down and took the lead, never relinquished it. So depending on how you feel about the tank situation or the lottery situation, you're happy they won or you're not so happy they won.
Well, I think they're pretty safe about not getting into the play-in, right? It feels that way. And like Harrison Barnes said last night, the energy from those young guys was big.
Well, this is the fourth game in 5 nights, so I think the biggest thing that we talked about was just energy and will. It's easy to just say, we're tired, we're fatigued, traveling, whatever it is, but just finding different ways to win and just picking up energy from different guys on the floor.
Yeah, well, that's what they did. Barnes has been good. Chris Paul has been good. I'm ready for the season to end and see what the Spurs do in the offseason.
I am so with you. Just ready for. The expectation for me coming into this season was be at least in the play-in, if not a playoff. Once they made the trade for De'Aaron Fox, I thought for sure playoff team. 5 games later, Wemby is done for the season. Shortly after, Fox is done for the season. Now it's just get to the offseason and see what they can add this offseason. Hopefully with a lottery-type draft pick and money to spend in free agency. I'm tired of this not being in the playoffs and 20, you're right, a 10-game improvement. Most people would think that's a success. I look at that as a failure, but the reason for it is, Wemby and his health, that changes everything as far as, are you disappointed in the year when you have your superstar go out like that? All bets are off.
All bets are off, and then De'Aaron Fox being shut down as well. Look, the Spurs have their foundation, and I'm convinced of it. Those 3 guys right there, with Wemby, Fox, and Stephon Castle, you've got a great foundation to build around. And it's going to be interesting to see who's here next year that's currently on this roster and who's not. I fully expect some players not to be. And we've already heard rumors that Devin Vassell is kind of the bait that's been thrown out there to the rest of the NBA. So we'll see if that is actually true or not. Keldon Johnson, I was reminded the other day from one of our listeners on our YouTube page that Johnson has really kind of acclimated to that role off the bench.
Yep.
He hasn't been a huge factor, but he has acclimated himself, and he's done it. And I think he's unselfishly done it, and I think that bodes well for him. So we'll see what happens with the future of one Keldon Johnson.
And we know Pop loves him. Again, took him to the Olympics a couple years ago, and he's the longest tenured Spur. But at the same time, does he fit with the group moving forward? And if there is a new head coach, does he fit with what the new head coach wants? It's going to be a interesting offseason. And you look at, the Spurs roster and, with Wemby being shut down this year, so he won't win Defensive Player of the Year, but maybe next year he has a strong year. He could win that Most Improved Player award because I think he'll be in line for that, next year. I do think that's a possibility.
Well, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of with the Lakers head coach on this one. I'm not sure exactly what the criteria is for Most Improved Player.
Austin's in the mix for Most Improved.
Is he?
I think odds-wise, it's like 30.
I hate that award because they failed to define it, and I think the spirit of it has been taken out of whack. I don't like that award. Just call it the high draft pick that is on a max contract that now is an all-star. Just call it that award. Who's that guy? Because that's what it's become.
But if you were making the case for Austin,
am I wrong?
But he wouldn't be that guy. Don McClain won it. Bobby Simmons won it.
No, I'm saying that's what it's become.
What? But we could. You could speak to the voters right now.
For the last 5 years, that's what it's become.
Right.
I don't think that's the spirit of the award.
What would be the case for Austin, in your opinion?
He's not going to win it, so it's a moot point. I've sang his praises all year.
Of course, he's talking about Austin Reeves, right? Who has been a solid, a really good player for the Lakers. And so, and I kind of see what he's doing. So when you look at the history of that award, is J.J. Redick right? Is it the guy on a max contract who's coming back from an injury that plays his butt off and, most improved player? That's why I don't think Wemby will win that thing. And I don't think he should, because Wemby's a great player, and he's going to be a great player. And when he comes back, he's going to play well. This is one for, somebody that I'm going to use it. Bronny James. If Bronny James next year goes out and sets a world on fire and he's an all-star, Bronny should win most improved player.
Yes.
That's where that most improved should go.
But it is interesting because some of those awards that help guys get max and super max, they need those awards, and it seems that's the way it goes. So, I say tongue in cheek, although maybe not, is Wemby in line for that next year? Because he will have an improved season, assuming he plays, the majority of the season and is fairly injury-free and plays at the level that we expect him to play. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live at the Valero Texas Open. We talk about contracts for the Dallas Cowboys. I know Micah's the big one, but there's other guys that are in line for a lot of money, and Jake Ferguson probably is going to demand more now because the tight end market has been reset. We'll tell you about the Arizona Cardinals making their tight end the highest paid in NFL history. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic on Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas is officially sold out. But you can still join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Celebrate with cold drinks, great food, and good times. The sold-out San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes. Benefits the Pan American Golf Association.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mirajoyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688.
Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit RoxDiscountVitamins.com.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 5-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
The Valero Texas Open is a can't-miss event. Here's your chance to enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. You won't want to miss the next defining, unexpected, and winning moments at the Valero Texas Open. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. Buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 3rd through the 6th.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live at the Valero Texas Open. We're out on the practice facility area in a brown tent if you're out here looking for us. Saw some dudes earlier, Matt and the other dude, I forgot his name. They're all geared up and psyched to come play in our golf tournament, which is right around the corner. A week from Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. We are sold out. We don't really do a waiting list. Now we get people saying, well, is there a wait list?
Yeah,
you guys have had plenty of time to sign up. If somebody calls and says, hey, we can't make it, and they cancel, we'll let you know there's one spot open or however that works. But right now we're sold out. Now, the after party, you can come to Hangar Bar on Petranco. We will be out there with the Blitz 2 to 6 on Monday the 14th. But as far as the golf right now, we are sold out.
And it's going to be a blast. And people know that. That's why the thing sells out as fast as it does. So if you haven't been there, you need to make plans right now for our fall golf classic. It's a blast.
We'll get into Trey McBride's new contract in a moment. I want to address a comment from Rudy on our YouTube channel. You can always comment there and subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You can tweet at Joe Reinagel 210, at Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star. You can even do it the old-fashioned way and talk. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Rudy says, a comment, I don't understand how you guys can claim the Spurs are tanking when you have players like Chris Paul that are getting bonuses for wins. That kind of contradicts the tanking part, right? To a degree, organizations tank. Players don't. Chris Paul is still playing, maybe because he loves the game, maybe because he has some incentives. 32 wins, probably when he signed it, seemed like a gimme bonus. They got it last night, and they got it because the Nuggets had their best players in street clothes. Our subs played a little better than their subs. The winning right now from an organizational standpoint, the best thing is not to win and ensure you're in the lottery. You watched the game last night. If you watched, the players that are out there play hard. Players play. Organizations tank.
Well, all that's true. The Spurs had an opportunity to lose that game if they so wanted to do so. And maybe organizationally they tried, because Sohan, Johnson, or Vassell did not play last night, but neither did Joker, Jamal Murray. There were like 5 guys for the Nuggets that didn't play either. So that was a tough. And look, I'm not one to feel sorry for these players that make a ton of money and have to play back-to-backs, but you think about it. The Nuggets were in a game the night before that went, I think, double overtime. And the Spurs played at home, had to fly to Denver and play the very next day. That's brutal. I don't care who you are or how good a shape you're in. That's tough. So I don't blame either team for resting their star players. That's fine. But whether you want to call it tanking or not, it doesn't really matter. The Spurs have no reason to win games right now. They're not going to get in the play-in. And they're going to be in the lottery. It's just a matter of where and what position they're going to be in the lottery and how many balls they're going to have in the hopper.
When you look at 6 games left and they've got a 3-game cushion, if you will, 4 games before they're in the play-in, with 6 games left, a win to feel good about yourself is not the end of the world.
Right.
I can't say they've clinched the lottery at this point, but, Sacramento has 36 wins. They're the 10 seed right now. The 11 seed is Phoenix at 35. Portland's at 33. San Antonio is at 32. But with as few games as left, last night's win is an, oh, my goodness, what are you guys doing winning a game? We're trying to get in the lottery. They've damn near secured it. I mean, if they went out and some of these other teams lose out, yeah, they could trip into the playoffs, but the likelihood, or the play-in, the likelihood of that happening isn't very high right now. So a win last night isn't the, what are you doing? We're trying to lose games mentality when you only have 6 games left.
Exactly. They're not getting in the play-in tournament. They're not. It's just not going to happen. Especially they got the Cleveland Cavaliers, for goodness sake, tomorrow night. And so, which is the best team in the Eastern Conference. So they're not going to win that game. I mean, the chances of them winning that game are pretty slim. And so they're going to be in the lottery. All I'm saying, so if tanking's not the right word, okay. And I didn't want to believe that they were tanking until I saw the other night when they were playing Orlando, and they played great. Game was tied at 95, and then some of the Spurs just took a nap on the floor.
Yep.
And so I don't know what happened, if they were just tired or what happened, but it happened, and I was watching it, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So at the end of the season can't get here soon enough for all of those guys. I mean, look, the players are the same way. They know they're not going anywhere. Now, a guy like Chris Paul, he may look at this as this is his last opportunity. He may have 6 games left in his entire career. You don't know what's going to happen with Chris Paul, whether he's going to be back with San Antonio or not. But so he's going to play hard. I'm sure he's going to be fired up for every minute that he's out there on the floor. But the other guys, it's like, let's just get it over with. We're not going anywhere. And Cabo's calling.
And with a matchup like last night and guys that got to play, and Mitch Johnson even said afterwards, I mean, you look at Blake Wesley and Malachi Branham, they're getting opportunity. They're getting film. They've got to go out and play their best. Again, that's why I say organizations tank, players don't. Because Mitch even said, man, you give those guys an opportunity, they've got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, we've been extremely healthy at times of the year where those guys haven't had the opportunity that they probably deserve. I wish we could play all 15 guys at times, and they have fought through the frustration, fought through the human emotions of not getting an opportunity when they are putting in work, and it's just nice to see them be able to get that opportunity and then capitalize on it and take advantage of it.
And those guys that he's talking about played well. I mean, and they played hard, and they're going to, because the opportunity, as Jason just said, to get film, but also just the opportunity to play. And when these guys are sitting on the bench for the majority of the season, and you get an opportunity to get out there and get some extended minutes, you take advantage of it, and you play because you're having fun playing basketball. It's what you do.
And honestly, did any of the Nuggets regular starters start last night? None, right?
None.
You got to win that, right?
I guess you do.
Mean, yeah. And again, at times, especially in that third quarter. And, that's about when I bailed on it because I'm just not going to invest my time watching them play a decent first half. Again, not against Nugget stars, but the way the Nuggets are playing that third quarter is like I just can't. It just pisses me off. So, I bounced, and then, I didn't see what happened in the fourth, but they got the win. But I'm not mad at it because, again, with 6 games left, they're not going to win enough down the stretch to get in. It just doesn't. It ain't going to happen.
And even if they won them all, the chances of them getting into the play-in tournament are still slim, because you'd have to hope that everybody ahead of you loses them all, and so it's not going to happen. Next year is the focus for this team, and it should be. These guys want to get taped. They want to play hard. It will be interesting to see, and I'm sure that Sohan, Johnson, and Vassell will be back in the lineup tomorrow night against Cleveland. Probably won't matter. But
although you wonder with Cleveland, and this is what for those that are rooting for losses here to ensure the lottery, Cleveland comes in. What do they have? 5-6 game lead on Boston for the top seed in the East. This is the perfect rest game for Cleveland, right? Although I don't think they're allowed to rest stars, right? But, on the road, but, somebody might, wake up back stiffness.
Well, sure. But, and I watching that game last night, I felt sorry for the people in Denver.
Oh,
I mean, can you imagine you paid regular price money to go watch that game, and you saw nobody but Chris Paul. That was the biggest star on the floor last night. Russell Westbrook, but Chris Paul was the biggest star on the floor. I mean, can you imagine paying all that money to go to a game and there's nobody playing?
Dude,
the NBA's got to fix this thing.
I know he's back in San Antonio, but we've got a loyal listener named Eloy who works for one of the airlines.
Right.
And for a couple of years, he was based out of Denver. And anytime the Spurs are in, that dude would spend good money on great seats because his Spurs were in town. I couldn't imagine spending real money on last night. You show up and you get less than a preseason game in an April NBA game.
That's exactly what that was last night. For all intents and purposes, it was a preseason game. So I'm watching. I'm feeling bad for the fans of Denver that paid good money to go see that game and basically had a preseason game. And to me, that's sad.
It is, and that's the NBA's got issues. And that's one of them. And I don't know how you fix it without eliminating back-to-backs. And I know Adam Silver put minimum games played to qualify for postseason awards. And, of course, postseason awards lead to Supermax contracts. So major financial incentives to go out and play more. But at the same time, if you're in April and you're a playoff team and you get a chance to get one of your guys some rest, I don't blame them for doing it. Hell, it started with Pop here in San Antonio, and we were mad about it then. But and was it Draymond the other night talking about the lack of respect from old school guys, and that's one of the things that you hear. The back in my day guy, the Sean Elliott, when they were flying commercial and had back-to-back games and would play all 82 games.
Yeah, it's funny. We had that debate this morning.
You and Ray at the gym?
Me and Ray, and my brother even chimed in on it. And it's like, I guess depending on what generation you are, like I make the argument for Tony Parker. I think Tony Parker was the most underrated point guard in the NBA. And because that guy was tough as nails. I mean, that guy was tough as nails. He would go into the paint, he'd get knocked on his butt, and he'd get right back up, and he'd do it again. And he'd do it again. And he'd do it again. And it was physical. And I told a story, and I know you've seen this too, sitting underneath the basket one time at a Spurs game, right there behind the basket, and seeing how physical the game was. With these guys going inside and just the physicality of the game was incredible. And to me, we've lost that because I don't know how many three-pointers total were taken in the game last night, but you check any NBA box score, it seems like on a daily basis, and you're near 100 three-pointers taken between the two teams. And to me,
Spurs took 46, the Nuggets took 44.
Well, there you go. There's 93 pointers.
It's crazy. 93
pointers last night. That's where the game is. It's all about the three-point basket. And it just seems to me the plays, the strategy, has just kind of gone out of the game. It's a softer game than it was just 10 years ago.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star, live at the Valero Texas Open. That's Thursday. Saturday, they'll be out here as well. We've got a pair of tickets to give away to Saturday's round of the Valero Texas Open. These tickets are only good on Saturday, so if you've got plans on Saturday, don't call right now. But if you want to come out here Saturday, we got a pair of tickets right now. We'll give them to caller number 11, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 11, you're going to win tickets to Saturday's Valero Texas Open. If you don't win tickets, you can always buy them. ValeroTexasOpen.com is where you can find them. We will get into that Trey McBride contract coming up here on the Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Spring cleaning isn't just for clutter. Let Benjamin Franklin Plumbing take care of your appliances. From water heater replacement or repair to advanced water filtration installation, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing is here to provide a worry-free summer for you and your family. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com to schedule. You can count on the punctual plumbers, where your comfort and safety come first. Book now. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Out here at the Valero Texas Open, round one is still going on. And right now, Keith Mitchell is your leader in the clubhouse. He's in with an 8-under par round of 64. Dallas Cowboys have a new quarterback. His name, Joe Milton III. Cowboys made a trade with the New England Patriots. Cowboys get Milton and a 7th-round pick this year in exchange for a 5th-round pick also this year.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate it. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minutes. Live out here at the Valero Texas Open, out on the practice range.
Yeah, not too many guys practicing right now. There's one guy out there. I can't see the name of who that is, but it's guys that have finished their round and weren't happy with a shot or two, and they're out here trying to correct it before they get out for round 2 tomorrow.
Now, you say that. You think it's just guys that they want to correct things, or it's just their routine, good, bad, or indifferent, they come out here and get in some more swings?
I think some of them do that, but think about it. I know a bunch of these guys warmed up before their round, then they play their round, and they come out here, but there's always something. And well, for you, it's a lot of things when you play golf, but for a lot of guys, it's that one or two things that, you're not doing right and you just can't figure out. And you come out on the range and you try to figure it out before you get out again.
No, and I'm with you because, I mean, one shot to the next, nothing's the same in my golf game.
Right,
so I
yeah.
lack consistency in that area.
Exactly.
What I find interesting is when you're watching these guys, and it is fascinating because I would like to be better at golf. I just don't put enough time into getting better. And the only way to really be good at golf is to play all the time, right?
Well, consistently, yeah.
But it's interesting watching these pros, and then they got guys on their team, and they're down there, with their cell phone going over video, and then they watch, and then they do it again, and they're watching the video again. Your swing looked exactly the same. What are you doing differently?
Well, these guys are such pros that it's a great question, honestly. But these guys are such pros, they can see, well, my hips move too quick this way, or this my swing came over the top on this, and they can see that from the video, and that's exactly what they're doing out there, which is fascinating. The caddy is out there taking video of the golfer, and then he hands it to the golfer to look at, and they can tell. And the caddy will tell him, look, you made this move, or you didn't do this, and it's the little things like that that can make a huge difference.
Well, and it's interesting, and so it's like you see that, and I don't know, it looked exactly the same the next time. I don't know what you fixed or what you did different, but you're right. It's just the little movement or, the hand placement. I don't know. What are you looking at as it goes past your zipper at this point versus that point? Or I don't know what they're looking at. And I'm just always amazed that these dudes can come out here and play golf without a beer, because I didn't think that was possible. Well, unless you're watching this, but I couldn't play around without alcohol.
Well, because we're, not that good. Some of us worse than others, but I'm just saying, so beer helps take the edge off. And that's the good thing. But I guarantee you, a lot of these guys that It's funny because a lot of the guys will stay in the hotel here, the resort here, the JW Marriott, but some others they'll rent houses out here. It's funny. That's a big business out here. I was told that last year.
Yeah.
That families will take a vacation and leave their house and rent it out to a PGA Tour player and for a week and make a lot of money.
Could you imagine Jordan Spieth's in my house this
Yeah.
week?
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
It would be cool. Although you wonder if they actually put the house in the golfer's name or some sort of management company.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's that, but you could probably have an idea. Say, hey, Jordan, can you just sign the refrigerator before you leave? I mean, something, right? Sign the kitchen wall. That'd be kind of cool.
Would your wife let you have Jordan Spieth sign the kitchen wall?
I think she'd be okay with it.
Are you sure?
Sure. And then you just buy a frame and put it over there, and you got and then when you leave, you just saw it out. Take it with you.
Over the bathroom, over the toilet, Jordan peed here.
Yes. Sure. Why not?
You're sick.
I'm just saying. I think that'd be kind of cool.
It would be. It is pretty interesting, the business side of the golf world, this traveling road show that, like all this equipment, whatever tournament it was before, but it's not just, when we were talking with Larson Segregal, who's the boss man out here at the Valero Texas Open, and he got like grandstands that actually will go from here to the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then you'll see stuff getting built and there'll be a sticker from this golf tournament. Oh, we got to get that one off. Or, just all the little things like that. The fact that they have built this mini city over the last month out here, and some point next week, you'll never know it was here.
Well, that's exactly right. And they do a hell of a job out here. It really is. I mean, it's a lot of work, and they'll start preparing for next year's tournament like the day after, like Monday. They'll get right back at it. So a lot goes into it. A lot of people working hard on it. Larson leading the way, and they do a great job. And I've been to several pro tournaments, and they're all good. But something about this is they've made it very fan friendly. And what I mean by that is if you're not a big golf person, you can still come out here and have a hell of a time.
It's a party.
Yeah.
And San Antonio knows how to throw a party. One of the things that when we were talking with Larson and the staff over there at Valero Texas Open, the golf diehards, the ones that are going to get out here early, post up at a hole, and they don't move all day, love them. Then you get the people that, casual fans, they want to watch some, and they're in one of the cabanas or whatever, and, they're drinking when guys are there, they're going to watch, and then they go back to the party. And then you got others that are just here for the party and may or may not see any golf whatsoever. And then we learned this. A lot of single ladies come out here because, one, it's social, it's an Instagram event, but two, they're on the hunt.
On the hunt for somebody.
So guys, you realize, you think about, guys typically will go to a place that, where there are a lot of ladies.
Sure.
You want to go to a target-rich environment. They do the same.
But I wonder, Jason, I mean, do you have to show your credit report or, have a gold American Express card? Or, I mean, there's got to be something. They're not out here looking for just some regular Joe to go home with.
I don't know what the details are, sir.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, if you're coming out here, you're not looking to go home with a stiff. You want a rich stiff.
See, now, why?
All right. I mean,
you say that. All of a sudden, Greg Shelton was thinking, you know what? This might actually end up being a pretty good weekend.
Well, I hate to
and then,
burst this bubble, but
yes.
But, I mean, it's true. Right, and that's no disrespect.
He almost smiled.
That's no disrespect to anybody.
Really, it didn't sound disrespectful. Jerry Jones talking about David Mulligetta. That didn't sound disrespectful at all.
If you're coming out here as a single lady, I mean, you go to any bar in town and get a regular dude.
Oh, so any bar will get you a Greg Shelton, but at the Valero Texas Open, he's off limits.
He's off limits.
He's single. He's male. He's got a heartbeat.
Now, if he gets a white belt, maybe it'll help him out a little bit.
That's not going to help any guy out here.
Got a lot of requests to see my white belt, too.
Do we really? Do we have one? Is one now a lot?
That's a lot, yes. Uh-huh.
All right, hold on.
Quite a few,
all right.
Yes.
If we get 15 white belt requests, different white belt requests,
That shouldn't be too hard.
We'll see.
I'm sure everybody wants to see that.
Who?
Well, everybody that's watching on YouTube.
So really what you're talking about doing is standing up, and if you stood up right now, your midsection is going to be all that's going to fill in the camera. You really think people want to see that?
No, I'll hold up the
your belly.
I'll hold that up. Yes.
So the white belt's visible.
Yes.
You're going to turn around and moon at the camera.
Well, I won't moon the camera. I mean, it depends on what you want. I'll turn side view if that makes you feel more comfortable.
None of this makes me comfortable.
I'm just saying. I mean, people like the white belt. They may make fun of it. They may say they don't want to see it. Everybody wants to see the white. It's famous, and again, should have its own Instagram page.
Your white belt. I don't know. I think Joe's Toes is more famous than the white belt.
Well, I mean, every part of me is pretty damn famous at this point.
Joe's Toes.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that video. Ever.
Oh, well,
I mean,
I was young and I needed the money.
You accidentally sent that to the city manager.
Yeah. I don't even know who our city manager is here. Do you?
No. Oh, what's his name?
So yeah. So yeah, I'm not sending it to him. This dude was trying to get lucky with the city manager. And thinking that, I don't want to revisit that story.
Listen to Redbird's Junkie. Yes. Do us all a favor. Dude, we will talk about Trey McBride's new contract, I think.
I would hope that I'm better than Timberlake.
You would hope?
I would hope so.
You would hope?
I think that 3-year-old kid is better than Timberlake. Holy cow, you kidding me? I'm just saying. Wow.
Jelly Roll, line 3. We'll talk some NFL contracts coming up here, maybe on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Our own Reverend Charles, everybody. Good morning, Reverend.
John, y'all a little joke a lot, Captain joke a lot all the time.
Right.
And you funny.
Thank you.
J.D. Ryan's funny, Turley, pre-K.
Bobo's most funny.
No, I don't find Bobo funny at all. Remember that old song by Randy Newman, Show People?
Yeah.
Got no reason to live?
No,
that's Bobo right there.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
George gets justice. In an instant, a careless driver turns your life upside down. You're hurt, the bills pile up, and work stops. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, your consultation is free. No fees, no pressure, just real help. Justice starts with one call. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, Our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. UMGC keeps your educational goals attainable with no-cost digital materials replacing textbooks in most courses, reduced tuition rates for eligible service members and their families, and scholarships for those who qualify. Get started here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Rock's Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rock's the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rock's has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rock's know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Live at the Valero Texas Open. There's a poll up on our YouTube channel. Do you want Joe to show his white belt? Right now, 84% say yes.
84%, but there's only 19 votes.
Not enough.
Got to get at least what?
Not enough.
50?
And Robert Spencer says if you get 25 requests, Joe should spank Jason with his white belt.
Boy, gladly.
That ain't going to happen.
Gladly would do that.
A lot more than 25.
Gladly.
But that ain't happening. That ain't happening. But the votes are coming in. Who knows? The white belt might make an appearance on the screen. Look at Joe's. You're watching on YouTube. Closing curtains because he knows he's about to expose himself. He's trying to find some privacy.
No, I'm trying to be a team player, Jason, and help Greg Shelton out a little bit.
Well, but Shelton says we're not team players. Well, I don't know why you would do that.
I'm trying to change the perception.
Shelton didn't get up and move, so I'm guessing it's because the sun's on him, not the back of your
Well, it's
head.
on the equipment, more important. So it's making the equipment hot.
Oh.
So
I see.
Trust me, I'd rather have the curtains open because there's a better breeze. But
yes,
I'm a team player, and I don't want the equipment to be hurt.
Yes, although Shelton's backside has made an appearance on our YouTube before Joe's white belt.
Have you noticed?
There was no votes for that.
I don't know if he's wearing a white belt or not.
He is not.
Well, he should be.
No, he should not be. Now, I want to go back to something that happened during the commercial break. In the real conversation that Greg Shelton said, I have not seen a grown man wear a white belt since the 70s, and that was with plaid pants that were bell bottoms. And Joe said, oh, yeah, that was me and my high heels. What? What?
High heels is probably not the right word. They're not like ladies' high heels. But, yeah, back in the disco era. In the 70s, I mean, if you watch Saturday Night Fever, for example, the old John Travolta movie, you watch, he's got these shoes that have a block heel, and it goes down, and there's a thickness to it. Anyway, they were, I don't know what you called them, platforms. Okay, yeah, platforms. So high heels is not the right word, but platform shoes.
Well, I can promise you,
it was a real thing.
Hearing you say that you used to wear high heels guarantees I would never let you spank me with your white belt, man. I've never questioned you before, Joe, but I've never heard you say, yeah, I used to wear high heels.
I was young and I needed the money, okay? What can I say?
Yes, I am judgy.
Woo.
Yes. Platforms.
Well, the temperature just went up about, 20 degrees.
It did.
Holy cow.
It did.
Wow.
But Greg wants to sweat it out.
I guess so. The equipment's safe, though, so I'm going to sit here and sweat and be a team player.
Hey, well, we dealt with it last week in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, but is Sydney around? That seemed to make it all better.
We could only hope. We could only hope. So the Arizona Cardinals have made Trey McBride the highest paid tight end in NFL history. 4-year, $76 million contract extension, 43 guaranteed, $19 million average per year. Trey McBride is a fantastic player, but I've never thought, man, he's one of the best tight ends in the NFL.
Well, I think last year he might have been. I don't have the stats for everybody, but he had over 100 catches, and he's really turned into Kyler Murray's security blanket there. And so I guess that's what they thought and rewarded him very handsomely.
But you wonder now, though, as Jerry Jones likes the weight, a guy like Jake Ferguson, who right now you wouldn't put in that category because he had a subpar year last year based on what we expected out of his growth. Now, some of that were his injuries. Some of that was Dak getting hurt. But whatever the case, Ferguson did not have a year last year like everybody expected. At one point, man, Schultz can go away. You got Ferguson. You've got tight ends there. And it makes you wonder if Jerry is seeing that and he's projecting. Do you now look at a tight end in the draft saying there's no way we're going to pay Jake Ferguson anywhere close to that neighborhood? Because if he has another great year this year, he's going to be in that category, and he's not the best, but he's going to be next. So that neighborhood has just gotten more expensive for tight ends.
Well, I mean, it could, right? I mean, I know there's some good tight ends in this draft, but look, you've got so many other areas that you need to fill. And I just think drafting a tight end in any round of this draft is a waste. You've got Schoonmaker. You still got Ferguson. You got the other guy, I think. What's his name? Anyway. That guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just think drafting a tight end would be a waste. You got so many other things you need. Wide receiver, running back. You still need offensive line, defensive line. A cornerback would be a good place to go. Maybe a safety even. So I think tight end is down on the list. Now, if Jerry doesn't want to pay Ferguson, then maybe next year's draft you start looking for his replacement and you let Ferguson walk the way you did Dalton Schultz.
Now, Brevin span forward, you still have John Stevens Jr. there and Princeton Fant. So they've got a lot of bodies in the tight end room. But I laughed the other day when I saw a mock draft that had the Cowboys taking a tight end at 12 overall.
That's ridiculous.
Although we look at trade possibilities. If they've decided there's no way we're paying a Jake Ferguson, then do you trade him, get something in return for him? Kind of, yeah, you know what I mean? I just wonder, because they're just trying to read tea leaves on what Jerry and Steven have talked about. And they seem to like to trade a lot. So could there be something in the works there, especially if, because, it's not just Micah that needs to get paid. And you look at a Tyler Smith, he's going to get paid. But Jake Ferguson at that position, they didn't want to pay Dalton Schultz that kind of money. We'll go draft another one. They got Schoonmaker. They had Ferguson. You almost wonder if that is now the position that the Cowboys aren't going to pay. And again, seeing the market get reset like that today, that changes everything for Jake Ferguson, who didn't do anything today except for see another guy at his position get paid.
Well, I think every tight end's looking at that. But look, I agree that if you don't want to pay Ferguson, because what did Schultz get? 3 years, $30 million from Houston? So, yeah, if you don't want to pay Ferguson, you let him go. I completely see that. But anybody in their right mind that's going to say the Cowboys are going to take a tight end with their number one pick has got to be smoking something. I mean, that would be the most bozo of bozo moves that I could think of for the Dallas Cowboys.
Unless Ferguson is on his way out.
With the first pick.
Again, if you're going best player available, and there are some highly graded tight ends, I want a wide receiver. I'm just trying to. What are the conversations going on right now in the Star? Will McClay and the scouts, Steven, Jerry, Schottenheimer, they've got to be having this discussion one way or the other and evaluating all these guys, because you look at the tight ends. And again, I want an explosive wide receiver, a legit number 2 to CeeDee Lamb, because while the Cowboys have a bunch of wide receivers, they don't have a legit number 2. But if they're saying, well, we might be able to get that in the second round and that tight end is there, maybe. I don't think it will happen, but you've got to believe they're having conversations like that. Or how much do they love Jake Ferguson? Does this get them on the phone with Jake? Because we've seen this with the Cowboys before. We're all expecting so-and-so to get paid, and then the Cowboys come through and they have another big extension for somebody else. I remember when Jalen Smith got his deal early. We were all, I forget who we were waiting for, and we were all shocked that Jalen Smith got done first. As Steven always says, takes 2, and you've got both sides motivated, it can get done.
It can get done, but I don't think Jake Ferguson is a priority this year. He doesn't have to be extended this year. I know Steven was talking about him. He was talking about Tyler Smith, but I think Jake Ferguson's a guy you can wait on. Let's see what kind of year he has. I'm all for letting Ferguson walk if he doesn't live up to the promise that I certainly have for him, and that the Cowboys, they like him.
You can't say that. You discovered him.
Well, that too. But look, if they want to let him go, I get that, and draft another tight end. I'm okay with that. To me, that doesn't hurt anything. I just think that anybody, there's no way. I would bet the ranch that the Cowboys don't, and unless Rob Gronkowski comes out of the clear blue sky at number 12, and they want to draft him, or I don't know, Jason Witten comes back, or I don't know, Jay Novacek. There's no way in hell the Cowboys draft a tight end with that number 1 pick, and if they do, I will have so much fun for I don't know, the rest of the summer.
I mean, you will. And again, I don't, but it wasn't a mock draft. So somebody else is thinking that guy might make sense for the Dallas Cowboys. I forget what it was, ESPN or The Athletic, one of those 2 mock drafts. And we both thought it was dumb as hell. But now you see this, the landscape changing. Is Jake Ferguson in the cards? Because we know the Cowboys can't pay everybody, and certainly not everybody at the top of the market. I certainly want to see Jake Ferguson get back to the expectation and what he did 2 years ago, and I would say pay him. But you look at numbers like that, I just see no way that the Cowboys would pay a tight end that kind of money with all the other big contracts that they have.
Well, and again, I don't think there's any hurry to do it, because I don't think Ferguson needs a contract this year. And I think you can wait on that, see what kind of year he has, and go from there. But, I mean, yeah, you look at anybody on that Cowboys roster who had a good year this year. Can you name anybody?
Brandon Aubrey, who is also due for a contract next year. But while they're due next year, you can do them early.
Sure.
And when you do them early, it tends to be a little bit cheaper than when you wait. And if Jake Ferguson has the year that we hope that he has, it looks like he did 2 years ago, not last year, in a contract year, how much more money is that guy going to make? Jerry can get him cheaper today.
Well, he can, but I don't see Jerry doing that. Because, again, I know you and Pledge and everybody else are in love with Dalton Schultz. And we're surprised that the Cowboys let him walk away. I'm okay with letting a tight end walk away because there's going to be more. And I get that. And if you don't want to pay top dollar for a tight end, I'm cool with that. I really am. Ferguson has a great year, and you can't let him walk. That's a different story. But I would wait, and I would see what he does. But again, there's no way in hell the Cowboys are taking a tight end with that 12th overall pick. There's just no way on God's green earth that is going to happen.
Pledge, do me a favor and clip that just in case.
Please.
Now, I agree with you. I would not be happy with the Cowboys if they were to take a tight end in the first round. But I think the possibility got a little bit higher today with that contract for McBride in the Arizona Cardinals.
Well,
and if not in the first round, because I'm thinking receiver, then running back, receiver, then running back. If I look at where they are now is tight end now more of a priority than I was thinking it was a day ago. And I would say it is, because I wasn't thinking of tight end at all. But now you got to start worrying about replacing a guy like Jake Ferguson.
Well, sure. If you want to start doing that, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. And you're going to have another 7-10 season, because you have so many other needs. You don't need a tight end this year. You don't, because you don't have to pay Jake Ferguson. So to draft a tight end in this draft is just a wasted pick, in my view, just like Schoonmaker was when they got him in the second round.
Yep.
It was a wasted pick.
And they got desperate there.
They did. And I just don't think that it's necessary. And with everything else they have that are more of a priority than tight end, I just think drafting a tight end anywhere, unless you find a diamond in the rough at 6 or 7, anywhere else is just a wasted pick.
Now, one thing that I don't expect the Cowboys to draft, a quarterback, because they made a trade for one today. Let's talk about it coming up next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2 Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th, with 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
San Antonio, are you ready? The 2025 NCAA Men's Final Four is coming to the Alamo City. The NCAA Men's Final Four Fan Fest, presented by Capital One, brings fun for all ages. Fan Fest is a sports wonderland of interactive games with celebrity and athlete appearances, giveaways, and much more. Come ready to play April 4th through the 7th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. The event is free for kids 12 and under, Capital One card holders, military personnel, and 2025 Final Four ticket holders. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
This is the sale you've been waiting for. The Macy's Spring VIP sale is here. Exclusive savings on the season's most loved brands with an extra 30% off Avec Les Filles, Karl Lagerfeld, DKNY, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty essentials from MAC, Armani Beauty, and too many others to mention. So get to the Macy's Spring VIP sale now and shop brands you love at prices you'll love even more. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Everything that you'd ever seen with Miranda Lambert on it, I have my finger on the pulse of what it is. Out of Wind, I've seen every article of clothing. I've spent hours and hours sending inspirations. I've sent clothes that I love and fabrics, and I'm involved in every single garment that you see. It's important to me that it is an extension of my music, and it's an extension of who I am. I always want it to stay as honest as my music. Idlewind at Boot Barn.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
It is the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix, live out at the Valero Texas Open. Gorgeous Thursday afternoon. First round is underway. We'll update the leaderboard here in a bit. We've got, all weekend long, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be incredible out here at TPC San Antonio, the JW Marriott. And it always is. Looks spectacular.
Oh, it's fantastic. The golf course, they do a great job. It's in great shape, just green all over the place. They do a hell of a job out here. They really do. And if you get an opportunity to come out here at some point this weekend, come on out, especially if you've never been. Walk around. It's a fun place to be, even if you're not a golfer or a golf fan.
And you want to just make it a priority. I mean, there's so much going on this weekend with the Texas Open going on. You have, the Final Four is kind of a big deal. Back tomorrow, the Blitz is going to be live at the Agave Bar. That is the Flight by Yingling Hoop headquarters. We're live down on the Riverwalk tomorrow, 2 to 6, with the friends from Flight by Yingling. The flight team will be out all weekend long at the Agave Bar. So your pregame beers, whether you're going to the concert, you're going to the games on Saturday or Monday, all the festivities on Sunday as well with Fan Fest going on. Make your first stop there, the Flight by Yingling Hoop headquarters at the Agave Bar. And it all kicks off with the Blitz tomorrow afternoon from 2 to 6.
Outstanding. And we got Pitbull tomorrow night?
Pitbull tomorrow night.
Pitbull tomorrow night.
Pitbull tomorrow night. Let's see. And Pledge, make sure I've got this right. Pitbull Friday night. Saturday night's Jelly Roll, although Jelly Roll is kind of early. He's going to be between games. And then you can obviously watch the games down there at the Music Fest. Sunday is Chris Stapleton, although I tell you, that Sunday lineup with Nathaniel Ratliff and Brothers Osborne, that's a great day. And then Sunday night, what is it, midnight? Travis Scott's doing his pop-up deal downtown.
Midnight?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You going to that?
No, I won't be there for that. No, midnight. Why midnight?
Why not?
Well, why?
Why? Well, because the kids don't go out at 8 o'clock and get there early to save a table, Joe.
Well, I guess not, but I mean, midnight. Wow.
Is that
It's
the Pooh
night.
show?
The what?
You got to help me
The
out.
Pooh Show?
I again, what are you talking about?
Somebody mistyped it yesterday. Pooh.
Oh, the Pooh Show. Yeah.
Pop-up show? Yes.
Yeah.
Don't you love when a joke just falls flat?
Well, Pledge is dealing with a couple of guys that don't have a very long memory. So
I remember the comment. I just don't associate.
The Pooh Show, yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
Midnight, huh?
Yeah.
All
That was
right.
the Wookiee and his inability to spell.
The Pooh will be flowing.
Well, I mean,
flying.
they're somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's going to be a fun weekend, no matter what you're doing. If you're coming out here, you're going to have a blast. If you're going downtown, you're going to have a blast. So either way you spin it, it's going to be a fun weekend.
Well, you got that. T-Pain is, he's playing at the Music Fest, but he's also going to do his own little pop-up show at the Aztec Theater. I mean, just all kinds of things. And just stay near your socials, because I would imagine there will be a lot of other pop-up type shows throughout the weekend. I wouldn't be surprised some of those that are playing at the Music Fest don't do kind of what T-Pain is doing. I don't know if it would be a Stapleton or a Jelly Roll, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Jelly Roll had, 2 or 3 different concerts scheduled during Super Bowl week in New Orleans, and he had a couple of things where he just random bars, and all of a sudden, you see on social media a bar with 200 people, and all of a sudden Jelly Roll's doing a set.
Right.
So you never know what's going to happen this weekend in San Antonio.
And just keep your eyes open when you're washing your hands in the bathroom. You never know who might walk in there. Jelly Roll. You never know.
The Dallas Cowboys officially have a backup quarterback. They make a trade today for Joe Milton III. This is a trade that has been talked about now for several weeks. Quite honestly, I'm not mad at it. It's not a surprise. I don't feel like they overpaid in a trade. Most of the time lately when the Cowboys have made a trade, I feel like, why? I mean, they gave up a lot for him. I don't feel that way with Joe Milton. They trade away a 5th-round pick. They get a 7th and a quarterback in return. The fact that Joe Milton, last year, a 6th-round pick for the Patriots, looked good in preseason last year, played well in the one regular season game that he got to. And if you're looking at 5th, 6th round for a quarterback, I'm going to guess the Cowboys looked at what they think will be available this year in the 5th round, and they look at Milton and say, he's better than these guys. Let's use that pick. And they have a bunch of 5ths because of the compensatory picks.
Look, I'm not mad at the move, at the trade. They needed a backup quarterback, or at least a guy that can come in and compete with Will Grier for that backup spot. They needed that. So I totally agree. I think it's better than anybody they can draft at quarterback this year. So you've got a guy in there who a lot of teams were interested in. Guy that is hot. A lot of people were after. So, I think it was a good move.
You look at, according to Jordan Schultz, the NFL insider for Fox, a lot of teams are interested in making a trade for Joe Milton, including the Raiders, Eagles, Giants, Steelers, and Cowboys. According to Jordan Schultz, the Patriots had a better offer for Joe Milton, but chose to send him where he wanted to go out of respect for him.
Well, that's a beautiful story. I'm going to cry. Isn't that sweet?
He wanted to be a Cowboy.
Wow, that's awesome.
Jordan Schultz tweeted out, Joe Milton tells me, quote, my family grew up a Cowboys fan. My mom always had a Cowboy shirt on. She always talked about them. Living in Texas has been a long-time dream of mine, and now I'm with them. I'm ready to work.
Well, we'll see what happens. And I think he's going to get, and maybe even Will Grier for that matter, going to get a lot of snaps as we go through the OTAs and we go through the summer before training camp, because Dak Prescott's just not ready yet. So he's going to get a lot of work. Cowboys will get to see a lot of him starting, April, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, April 14th.
When they have their first OTA. So, look, I'm not mad at the move. I don't think it was a bad move. And you spend a 5th-round draft pick, you get a 7th back. But I don't think it was a bad move at all.
But, again, tells me they're not going to draft a quarterback in April,
which is smart.
Later this month.
Which is smart.
And if they like this guy who's got 3 years left on his rookie deal, making under $1 million this year. Now, I look at Dak Prescott. has missed time in 4 of the last 5 years because of injury. Can he be ready like Cooper Rush was? Cooper Rush proved to be a game-ready backup quarterback. And you wonder with a guy like Joe Milton with 3 years left, do they think he could ultimately develop into the guy to replace Dak or be the bridge until they get their next franchise quarterback, assuming this is the last contract that Jerry gives Dak Prescott, which I think most of us hope, right? So you look at this and you go, all right, 3 years with this guy. Let's see what he is. Todd Archer reported today that the Cowboys, when Dak got hurt last year, actually talked to Trey Lance about an extension. And obviously that didn't work out. I'm going to guess it's a low dollar amount similar to what Joe Milton is on, or Trey Lance might have taken it, or did Trey Lance think that he had a chance to go somewhere and be a starter? Because we sit here today and Trey Lance still does not have an NFL home.
Sometimes things don't work out and it's the best thing for you. I can't even imagine the Cowboys wanted to hang on to Trey Lance. And if they offered him an extension, so be it. But I can't even imagine. That was such a failed trade. And it was just a disastrous thing that was just horrible. And you're seeing it now that nobody's picking this guy up. He needs to go get some reps somewhere, whether that's Canada or the UFL or wherever he wants to go. But lucky for the Cowboys that he turned down that contract extension.
Well, and again, you say that depends on the dollar amount. I'm curious.
I don't care what it was.
Well,
doesn't matter.
I mean, we heard how much they liked him. He was a high draft pick of the 49ers. It didn't work out there, the upside, but then we saw him play. And, I wonder if the contract was offered before he actually had to play in a game, because we talked about it all through the end of last season. When we knew they weren't in the playoffs, why aren't they playing Trey Lance just to see what you have in him? And then we saw, what do you have, 5 interceptions in a game?
Yeah.
There's a reason Mike McCarthy at that point, I think, was still trying to save his job.
Look, nothing against Trey Lance. Maybe he comes back and becomes what everybody thought he could be. And I think it's a little unfair, quite frankly, for a Trey Lance, because he was drafted so high and those expectations are huge. He couldn't live up to those expectations. He came from a small school. He's got all the tools. I just don't think between the ears he was grasping it. And I think that's where he really needs to work on it. But I look, the Cowboys needed to cut bait with that guy. They did. However it happened, they got rid of him, and it was for the best. And at this point in time, nobody else has picked him up. And I think that tells you everything you need to know.
When you look at now for the Cowboys, and let's assume they're not going to draft a quarterback. And we talked about the potential of a tight end. Todd Archer from ESPN has listed the players that we know of at this point that are coming into Arlington next week for the 30 visits, right? 3 of them are wide receivers. Ohio State, Arizona, Missouri, all the ones that you would expect. A couple of running backs are on the list, which, all right, you would think. A couple of defensive linemen, and some that you look at and you go, a couple of offensive linemen as well. All these look like first-round guys, which, again, but you start looking at, 3 wide receivers. McMillan is on that list, and, man, I hope he's doing some damage control, because what he said in that interview seems so damaging that, and if you didn't hear, he was talking about how he doesn't like football and he doesn't watch film. He watches film only in the wide receiver room, but he'd rather go out and run routes. And you can't use the number 12 pick on a guy that says that publicly. And he was doing an interview while eating. It's like it was his breakfast time, and he's sitting there eating and half-ass paying attention to the interview.
Boy, you got to wonder.
Well, I mean, just perception. First impression type things. Now, I've seen the kid play, but I've never seen him interview before that.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about what kind of guy are you, his actions, respect during an interview, unless the whole interview was set up like, dude, we want you eating. This would be cool. But they didn't say that. And then to say, I don't love football and I don't watch film.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to say. Even if it's true and you don't do that, that's not something you put out there. But every mock draft lately has the Cowboys taking that guy. So we'll see what happens. Look, he's a talented guy. I don't think there's any question about it. He's a talented dude. But you got to have the work ethic too to be successful in the NFL. And if he doesn't have that, then that's a problem.
It is interesting. Now, you look at some other names. You go with the 3 wide receivers, and I want a wide receiver. Luther Burden would be good. However you say the dude's name from Ohio State. What I'm looking at in the running backs, the Judkins kid from Ohio State and Tootin from Virginia Tech. Not the names I was expecting to see. They're not. Again, this isn't the complete list. It's just what we know of so far. Genty isn't on that list, and Hampton from North Carolina is not on that list.
I think Hampton will be available. Not in the second round, I don't think. They'd have to take him in the first round. But I think they see the writing on the wall. I think Genty's not going to get out of the top 10. So if the Cowboys wanted to make a play for him, I think they'd have to trade up. Everybody that I've seen has him going 6 to the Raiders. That seems to be the most popular place for him to go. So I don't think he makes it out of the top 10. So if the Cowboys wanted him, they'd have to make a deal and move up.
Well, and again, you look at wide receiver, and I saw Todd McShay talking about, everything is Step McMillan going 12 to Dallas. And I just can't imagine that after that video came out that the Cowboys would take a player like that. Now, granted, he's a stud, but damage control on personality and your love of football, the idea of, it's such an unfair comparison, but the Johnny Manziel vibes just reek of that. Are we going to put in a contract that we're going to watch how much film you're watching because they can do that and require him to watch so much film?
Well, I tell you what, Jason, if that happens and we're sitting here the day after the Cowboys take him at number 12, we'll get to ask him that question most likely because he'll be on this show and we can ask him that question. And I'll be curious. I'm sure somebody's going to ask Steven and Jerry about those comments if that's the way the Cowboys go at number 12. So we'll get those answers.
It's going to be fascinating when you look at it and think about it. Cowboys taking care of the quarterback position. Again, not upset at that. And then with their OTAs coming up, knowing that Dak Prescott, although the videos look good that have been released lately, and they don't get released if Dak doesn't want those videos released. But, he looks like he's moving well, throwing well. Reports are he's lost about 30 pounds. But with OTA starting on the 14th, I can't imagine he's going to be a big participant in a lot of it. They've got Will Grier and they've got Joe Milton now. Will they bring in an arm, if you will, just to get through OTAs?
I think they have to. Don't you? And even into training camp, I think you're going to have a fourth quarterback there. I don't know, while Dak looks good, is he going to be ready even for training camp? He has said himself he'll be ready when it counts. Now, what does he mean by that? Is that training camp or is that game 1? So you don't know what Dak's status is. We'll know as we go through the summer and how he progresses and get updated there. But they're going to have, if Dak can't do anything even in training, they're going to have 3 guys there.
They are going to have 3 guys there.
They got to bring somebody else
in. At the very least.
Yeah.
And, I bring up Ben DiNucci just because I know Ben lives in the Dallas area, and he is not playing spring football this year. So, in fact, he tweeted the other day that some teams called, and he was like, no. So while he's not on an NFL roster, I think his goal is to get there. And, if it's a pretty good gig to be a camp arm. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ben DiNucci just because he already lives in the area.
Well, DiNucci's making too much money with his hats.
His hat business is doing well.
It's not bad. He's the guy, in case you didn't know, that's got the upside down Dallas.
Uh-huh.
And now everybody's got him. And I wonder does he get a piece of that? It was that logo and the way that you see every team now has that. I've seen Aggies with that upside
well, and
down.
then like with the Aggies, it's his True Boulevard brand. Others are just doing it. I don't know how much he's getting off of that, but apparel business has been really good.
Yeah.
For one, Ben DiNucci. live out here at the Valero Texas Open. It's the Blitz. Now, great couple of days in store here at the VTO. Over, tomorrow morning, the morning huddle will be out here early. I'm kind of bummed we're not going to be here tomorrow. Normally we do the Blitz Thursday and Friday, but tomorrow we're going to be live on the Riverwalk as we get ready for the Final Four. We'll be at the Agave Bar, which is the Flight by Yingling Hoop headquarters. We'll be there tomorrow 2 to 6. And you get a chance to go downtown on the 10th if you want to laugh. Comedian Trevor Wallace is going to be at the Aztec Theater on April 10th. You want a pair of tickets? Be caller number 10 right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you don't win them, you can buy them at livenation.com. The Spurs actually won last night.
Wow.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line. Touchdown Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyer4us.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do. Help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community win and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, a billion-dollar insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyer4us.com.
Play ball! Missions Baseball is back, and opening weekend is here at Wolf Stadium. We're kicking things off on Friday with opening night and a Missions Tumbler mug giveaway presented by Circle K. First pitch is at 7:05 p.m. Then on Saturday, the action continues with the first post-game fireworks of the season presented by Bud Light. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Wrap up the weekend with afternoon baseball on Sunday with first pitch at 1:05 p.m. Don't miss the start of another epic season. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Play ball! All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
Have
You heard? Kohl's has 2 exclusive new home brands, Miriana and Mingle & Co. From luxe favorites that are all about turning your space into a sanctuary to fun mix and match dining essentials, there's so much to discover. And trust me, you're gonna love everything. Plus, you can get an extra 20% off throughout the store during our Friends and Family sale. So hurry to Kohl's today and bring it all home for less. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends April 6th. See store at kohls.com for details.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Round one here at the Valero Texas Open, winding down. We got a couple of guys making a charge. One of them is named Sam Ryder. He is -7 after 16 holes, and he's just one shot off the lead. The other guy, Carson Young, 5 under par right now through 15 holes. And, well, we got the Spurs winning last night, and that did Chris Paul a great thing. $262,000.
Boom. Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live at the Valero Texas Open. Round one underway, and you're talking about guys that are playing extremely well here in the afternoon of the first round.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's interesting. It's going to see how some of these guys finish. The wind has really started to pick up, which is going to make that golf course that much more difficult. Jordan Spieth now at -3. He's having a good day today. And you've got some names. Sam Burns is there at -3. Tommy Fleetwood again at -4. But the Sam Ryder, it was Keith Mitchell, who's still the leader in the clubhouse with an 8 under par round of 64 today. But boy, the Sam Ryder at -7. He's got a couple of holes left to play. He's doing well.
And these guys, just watching, there's TVs in the tent where we are, just watching how they play is just incredible. And, we're set up on the in a tent on the practice by the practice range.
Yeah,
right?
Very good. Practice range, driving range,
practice area, whatever you want to call it, right? So if you come out in the morning and, one, bring bacon for grumpy-ass Greg Shelton, he might actually smile for you, although I believe he ate all the bacon in the facility today. But one of the things, it's fascinating what you can learn when you're sitting out here. During one of the breaks, I was talking to one of the guys in the tent next to us, are all the guys that assist the pros before they go out and practice. And they hit ball after ball after ball. And it's kind of cool because they get a bag of golf balls to go out there. They're all theirs. Everybody has their own specific ball. So the tractor that's out there that collects them, and then there's like a little robot thing, like a big Roomba that's also collecting golf balls. But they bring them all back, and then these volunteers, they sort them to make sure all the golfers get their correct golf ball.
Really?
It's not like,
see, I didn't know that.
Like when you're out at the golf club of Texas, you get some range balls and, you hold your bucket in, fills it up, and then you go hit, and then whatever you get, these guys get their own specific golf ball. So these guys over here, they sort them. It's crazy.
And they're all brand new.
All brand new. Well,
brand new golf balls.
Well, that's why I asked the guys, like, well, why do you sort them? They actually hit those things twice. It's like, well, the practice ones, I mean, they will here, but once they're done, I don't think they go with them to the next one.
Well,
So
I wish
these
they'd
golf
come over
balls
here
do
to me.
get more than one hit.
I got to go talk to those guys during the next break because I usually walk away with 3 or 4 of those brand new golf balls.
3 or 4 dozen?
No, well, I'd like to. That'd be great. They're brand new.
They're brand new.
And I know with these guys hitting them, there's no smiley faces on them or anything like that. So, yeah, I need to go talk to those guys.
I don't know who this dude is that's out here hitting right now.
Well, he gave his caddy apparently the rest of the night off.
I'm just out here by myself. He's got his earbuds in, listening to his music, and just striping them. See, I would love to be able to hit like that one time. And I know you guys listening on the radio, you didn't see it. Let me just tell you, it's a better hit than you would do.
Well, than any of us. And not only did he hit it straight, he hit it a long way.
It hasn't landed yet.
It looks like he's hitting like a 3-wood, perhaps. A little fairway wood, 3-wood. I would say that's probably it. And he smoked it.
And I'm guessing you're going to rip him because he's wearing white shoes and has on a black belt.
Yeah, but he's got a black shirt and black pants.
But white shoes.
Yeah, but a white belt wouldn't look good with that.
Are you kidding?
No, it wouldn't look good with that. I'm okay with what he's got on.
All right.
And it looks like he's just got, I don't know, those must be golf shoes. It's hard to tell these days because a lot of golf shoes look like tennis shoes anyway.
Yep.
It's like he's got a pair of Converses on. But I don't know. It doesn't matter what he's got on. The guy can play.
I'm going to guess those are Nike because the hat says Nike and the shirt says Nike.
Well, there
so
you
I'm going
go.
to guess he's not rolling in Converse.
I would say they're Nike. Yeah, yes, I would say. Yeah, Nike might get upset if he rolled out there with a pair of Converses on. That's for sure. But the guy can play. I'll tell you that. He's again, I don't know who he is. Young guy.
Yeah,
he's not an old guy by any stretch.
Riveting radio.
I know it is. We're entertaining ourselves, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in.
It isn't. I mean, you see somebody and go, "Well, who's that? Who's that?"
Right. We're just trying to bring you the ambiance of what's happening.
That guy could end up winning this thing.
Well, he could.
He could end up winning the Masters next week.
Well,
he could end up, checking IDs at Costco next week. We have no idea.
You never know. You never know. That's true. But the way he hits it, I'm pretty sure he won't be checking IDs at Costco. He'll be doing something. You see, he's got a camera there that he set up, and he's watching it right now. That's pretty cool. I mean, everything with the technology that we have now with the video. And
dude, you could do that.
Well, I know, and I have. I've done that.
You videoed your golf swing?
Sure.
And looked at it?
Absolutely.
And recognized what you did wrong and actually fixed it?
If I go get a lesson.
Well, no, this guy's by himself.
Well, he's a pro, dude.
He's working his camera by himself.
He's a pro.
Could you?
Yeah, I could do that. I don't know why he's doing that. He's got a caddy. Make that dude work. It's like, dude, I know you carried a bag for 18 holes, but let's go. We got work to do.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to pay caddy overtime. I mean, maybe his caddy's one of those, that's not my job, guys.
Dude.
Not a team player.
Now, caddies only get paid by the prize money. These guys don't pay them. They get a percentage of the prize money. Scotty Scheffler's caddy made a ridiculous amount of money last year.
Yeah?
Because Scheffler won so many tournaments. It was a ridiculous amount of money.
So they don't get paid unless they win?
Well, no. Everybody gets prize money, right? So you get a small percentage of that. It's like the golfers. They don't get paid.
Well, sure, but they get all the sponsorship dollars.
Well,
like I'm going to guess this guy's getting a little money from Nike or just a bunch of free stuff, but either way, he's getting compensated. So you're telling me, and I don't know this, right? I'm asking, not trying to be. So a caddy shows up, and if you've got a bad golfer, you're broke. If you get a good golfer, you've won the lottery.
Pretty much.
But you don't get paid, a flat fee,
No.
$100 a day to walk around plus.
And you don't want that because you're hoping your guy does well. And the better your guy does, the more money you're going to get.
$100 plus.
That if you miss the cut, now if guys and making the cut, they'll take half the field, right? It's a certain number, and if you miss the cut, then you don't get anything.
Yeah.
But everybody that makes the cut will get paid something.
So if you don't make the cut, your caddy makes no money either?
No money. But neither did you. So why should the caddy?
Well, he still worked.
So did you.
I just think that's wrong.
Well, I don't know why.
There should be some sort of base money.
That's well, then go play on the Live Tour, dude. All right, because there's the base money. Go do that. These guys actually play, and they're good enough, and then they're not afraid to put their lack of money where their mouth is.
Now, while you claim to be the golf expert, James Pledger says PGA Tour caddies earn through a combination of a weekly stipend and percentage of their players' winnings, with the standard being 10% for a win, 7% for top 10, and 5% for other finishes. Caddies typically receive a weekly salary or stipend, which can range from $1,500 to $3,000 a week,
which is chump change.
Well, sure.
So if your guy wins,
the guy's not walking around for free or $100.
Well, it's ridiculous. If the pro is walking around and can't make any money, the caddy shouldn't either. Maybe he didn't win because his caddy was bad.
Well,
gave him bad advice. Then what?
So
you're going to dock his pay?
So $3,000 a week,
up to $3,000. Think about that.
Range from $1,500 to $3,000 a week.
Right.
Right. And for $1,500 a week, I'm really working 4 days, hard for 4 days.
Right. Longer than that, because they'll come out here on you got to play pro-ams.
But I'm only carrying the bag for those 4 rounds.
But a caddy has to go out on the golf course beforehand, take notes. He's got all of that stuff. So they work. Even when the pro's not there, the caddy will go out and he's got to. You see them reading the books that they read, right? If you watch a golf tournament, okay, well, the caddy's putting a lot of that together. Some of it's already done for them, but caddy's got to do that. How many weeks of what?
Greg Shelton's trying to figure out. I mean, because Greg Shelton's looking at that going, my job's kind of like this caddy. I go, I set everything up. The boys show up, they do the show, then they leave. Then I've got to take everything down and then by himself, because we're not team players, carry everything back out to the van, and he loads it up.
I thought, I was thinking Shelton was thinking maybe he'd go try to be a caddy.
Well, I think he is. I think he's trying to.
He wouldn't make one hole. Are you kidding me?
Carrying the bag. There's no carts.
I don't know how many weeks. 30? 30 or so? Maybe longer than that.
Maybe. Who knows? I mean,
it depends. You don't play every week.
How many events is the golfer in? But if you get 10% of one big event, that's pretty good.
Well, if you get
36 weeks.
Yeah, but you don't play 36 weeks. Most guys, right? So even though the season goes 36 weeks, most guys don't play that. There's a certain number of tournaments you have to play in, but you don't have to play 36 weeks. Most guys don't play every week.
True.
For example, there's a lot of guys that played last week that aren't here this week that will go to the Masters next week. Some guys don't like to play the week before the Masters. Some guys do. That's why they didn't play in Houston last week, and they're playing here this week. So you pick and choose.
You ever wonder why we don't talk a lot of golf on this show?
Well, we should, because you need to be educated.
Oh, so do you.
I didn't know about the stipend, truth be told, but I think that's BS.
Dude, they're working.
Well, so is the golfer.
Shelton is getting very angry at this conversation.
If there is a golfer that's good enough to be sponsored by Nike, he's a damn good player, and that caddy's not doing bad.
He's making $3,000 a week.
Because Nike's not going to sponsor a slug. I mean, they're not. They're not going to sponsor anybody. They want somebody that's going to win tournaments or at least be in contention, because the more that Nike swoosh is shown on TV on Sunday, it's better for them. Make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm quite certain this dude's caddy is doing okay if this guy is sponsored by Nike with all the gear he's got on.
Are you kidding? The caddy's not out there right now because he had to go bartend somewhere while he's in town for the weekend to make ends meet.
He's bartending for this guy later.
We'll see. Let's talk Spurs. Coming up here on the Blitz, here live at the Valero Texas Open on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2Fi Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Legacy, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th, with 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Texas coastal waterfront properties starting at only $49.9?
That's right. Driftwood Acres at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay, is extending their grand opening for one day, Saturday, April 12th. Book your private tour to see 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access, starting at just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, resort-style pool and cabana, community fishing pier, boat and RV storage, and so much more. It's happening Saturday, April 12th, one day only. Coastal waterfront property starting at an unbelievable $49.9. Just $49.9. Call to book your private tour or for information for Saturday, April 12th. 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Appointments are limited, so call now. 210-853-0389. Texas waterfront properties will never be more affordable. 210-853-0389.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Where was that? Where in California? Lancaster. Where's that? I think it's just northeast of San Diego. Right,
I don't even know what northeast is. Why do people talk like that? Go left, go right. Not northeast of the southwest division of the blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that is.
We use a thing called a map, and on a map...
Shut up!
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
What do you call charging thousands of dollars for hearing aids? At MD Hearing, we call it outrageous, because hearing should not be a privilege for the rich. It's a basic need everyone deserves. Hi, I'm Dr. Sandra Porps, head of audiology at MD Hearing. If you or a loved one have trouble hearing but don't want to waste thousands for a hearing aid, MD Hearing was created for you by doctors and audiologists. A high-quality, FDA-registered hearing aid for a fraction of the price. No costly doctor visits, no expensive and time-consuming fittings, no bulky, old-fashioned hearing aids that cost thousands. The MD Hearing Neo is just $297 per pair. It's rechargeable and fits discreetly in your ear. Even better, it lets you hear what you've been missing at a savings of more than 90% off the average price of a traditional hearing aid.
Try MD Hearing risk-free for 45 days by calling 800-918-3920. Plus, you'll get free shipping. Call now, 800-918-3920. That's 800-918-3920.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry, San Antonio, Texas.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Wow, did he get hit? Wow.
It sure did.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix at the Valero Texas Open. Watching on TV, this just happened. I'm sure you'll see the highlights later. Jordan Spieth teeing off on 17. It was going right. He knew it was bad as soon as he left. And it looks like the ball hit a guy driving on one of the carts in the head.
Well, it hit the cart path and then hit the guy on the head.
Do we know it hit him, or did he just get
I don't
scared
know.
because he heard it?
I'm not sure.
But his reaction, and he's driving a cart, there's people there. He damn near ran over some dudes.
That was hilarious.
Wow.
That's too bad, man. That's funny as hell.
Well, wait a minute. When I say I like to see guys do something like we do, because he was so far off. Now, I wouldn't have been that far off, but I've hit it that far off.
So you'd be farther than that.
Well, maybe. I can't hit it far enough to be farther than that. But,
well, true.
But what I'm saying, though, is and I generally am not like this. I like when I see a golfer do something like that because it makes them real.
Well, then you should watch Jordan Spieth because he does that quite a bit.
He does.
And then he scrambles his butt off.
It is crazy. Sam Ryder is playing his butt off. He is now tied with the lead at 8 under. And Ryder on 17, so he's got an opportunity to close day one as the clubhouse leader.
Yep. He's playing right now the 18th hole, so he's going over there. Yeah, and it's a par 5, so he's got a good opportunity there to finish with a birdie. So a hell of a round. Brian Harmon as well, -6. The Carson Young is another guy that's playing well. So you got a bunch of players out there playing well, but again, the wind has picked up. And for these guys to finish, it's going to be a little tougher than it was for the fellas in the morning.
Yeah, Pledge, do what you can to find video of what we just saw here from Jordan Spieth. That was comical.
That was funny as hell. It really was.
I mean, just the reaction from the guy driving that cart, that tractor thing.
Yeah.
I think he's a TV guy, too. So, and now granted, if he was a TV guy and he's monitoring the feed, he should have known incoming.
Yeah, right. 4. Well, I mean, somebody should have told him because Spieth is pointing to his right, like, hey, the ball's headed that way. See, that's the one thing I don't like about pros is that the rest of us don't get the option. These guys hit a shot into the woods. They got people in there looking for it before you even get there. We don't get that. That doesn't seem right, does it? They go up there, they put a little flag there. They found it. Boom, there it is. You don't have to worry about it.
I should have people that could do that because I look for about 8 seconds. I don't see my ball and I'm moving on. I'll just drop another one. But yeah, no, they've got, but I mean, what impressed me more about that Jordan Spieth shot that we just saw? The amount of people that are out at this golf course.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, right?
We're up on the practice area and at 522, it feels kind of deserted, but there are thousands of people still on this course. And that's one thing that you think about. You go to a basketball game and there's 18,000 people. They're all in one area. Here, because the grounds are so big, the crowd is massive, but it doesn't always feel that way. I'm impressed to see the amount of people there that just got to dodge a Jordan Spieth shot.
It was funny. Now, it's going to be interesting to see where that ball actually ended up. And if it did hit that dude in the head, that might have helped him because it might have given him another 50 yards off the dude's dome.
Dude, that
was funny.
That's hilarious. So the Spurs last night get a win. And with that win, they get win number 32 on the season. And that triggers a nice bonus for Chris Paul. And I'm guessing when they did Chris Paul's contract, 32 wins seemed like such a gimme, right? And yet they got there last night, so he gets an extra $262,000. He's got another $523 so another $500,000 in change with incentives, statistical incentives that are still seemingly very reachable with 6 games left. Last night's game was just awful. And quite frankly, the NBA shouldn't allow that. Not a single Denver starter played last night. The Spurs didn't have most of their guys either. It basically not even a real preseason game, because even in a preseason game, you see some of the stars at least for a few minutes. I mean, last night was just disgusting when it comes to the product that the NBA allowed on the court. That said, those that played for San Antonio played well, and they actually got a win.
They got a win, and it was the guys that are hungry to play, which is good for them because they get to play, and they've been sitting on the bench quite a bit. Look, I again, and I've said this for years, I just think it's ridiculous that the NBA allows this. That you got 5 stars for the Denver Nuggets that are sitting out and that don't play. Now, at least for San Antonio, you had Chris Paul, you had Harrison Barnes out there. They played, and folks got to see Steph Castle. So it wasn't as bad for San Antonio as it was for the Denver Nuggets. But to me, that's just that may have been the only game you got to see this year. And it's just it's unfortunate, and I don't know what you do about it or what the NBA can do about it, but they got to do something. That's so unfair to people that pay a lot of money to go see a basketball game and nobody's playing.
Now, a lot of people, last night a couple people tweeted at us at Joe Reinagle 2-0 at Jason Minix about Spurs tanking. They're not tanking. They are. Organizations tank, players don't. And last night you saw some players getting some playing time, valuable minutes for them. They're going to play hard. They know whatever they're doing is on film, and they're playing for their lives. Players do not tank. Organizations do. And obviously some financial incentives factor into Chris Paul still wanting to play. Now, it also might be, if Chris Paul is decided or not, he might only have 6 games left in his NBA career, and we know he's a baller. I mean, he talked about it when he came to San Antonio, which still surprised me and surprises me, because him choosing San Antonio was him saying, I'm never going to get a championship in my career, because there wasn't one ever coming to San Antonio this year, regardless. But he said he would rather play and start than ride the bench somewhere. So we know he likes to play. He's a baller. And obviously, with another $500,000 on the line, I expect him to play a lot down the stretch. 6 games left. But it is interesting, though, when you see last night, granted, Denver didn't play anybody, coming off of both teams off of back-to-back, but the energy that you saw from the Spurs, and as Mitch Johnson said, guys like Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley had an opportunity, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah, we've been extremely healthy at times of the year where those guys haven't had the opportunity that they probably deserve. Wish we could play all 15 guys at times, and they have fought through the frustration, fought through the human emotions of not getting an opportunity when they are putting in work, and it's just nice to see them be able to get that opportunity and then capitalize on it and take advantage of it.
And it is good because some of those guys that played last night, Jason, it probably won't be in a Spurs uniform, but somebody got to look at them, and somebody will get a look at them, and maybe they end up on somebody else's roster. So it's good for them. I'm happy that they do that. Look, I mean, Chris Paul wants to play, obviously, because quite frankly, this might be his last year to play anywhere. You don't know. So he's going to play. And Steph Castle, you want to get as much as you can with him. But I'd just soon see these other guys that haven't had much playing time get a lot more in these last 6 games because, look, the Spurs aren't going anywhere. They're not making it the play-in game. So you just finish out the season the best way you can and go from there.
And that's the other part. Last night's win doesn't really hurt the Spurs when it comes to trying to get into the lottery. I don't know, mathematically they haven't wrapped it up, but realistically with 6 games left, they're 4 back of the 10th spot. They're not getting that.
No.
They're not getting that. I mean, the math would be too complicated for us to do to see how they could. But so last night's win doesn't hurt when it comes to tanking.
No, they're going to be in the lottery. There's no question about it. Unfortunately, Atlanta's not. So where they were hoping for a couple of lottery picks, they're only going to get one. And that's the way that it goes. But I can't tell you how happy I am that there's only 6 games left in the season. I want it to be done with, and I want to see what the Spurs are going to do. What is the plan? And I think they're going to be aggressive, and I think they're going to build a team around Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox, and this team is going to be competitive next year. I can't wait to see what they do.
When you look at it, and you're right, my expectation for this year was they were going to be around 500, and I think the over-under at the beginning of the year was 38.5 for them, and I took the over. Obviously, they're at 32 right now. They're not going to hit. But when they made the move for Fox, I said, man, that's the difference between play-in and play-off. 5 games later, Wemby's out for the season. Now Fox is out for the season. Financially, I think we now know why Chris Paul is still playing for a variety of reasons. One, he's a baller, but I'm with you. Just can we fast forward? Watching the Spurs right now is not fun.
No.
And it's disgusting. I watched last night until the third quarter, and once they started to get beaten that third quarter, the way Denver was playing, even with their subs, I was looking at that going, it just angers me with the product that I'm seeing right now from the Spurs as a lifelong Spurs fan. I'm with you. I can't wait to get to the offseason and see what this team does.
Yeah, I want to see what they do, and I think they're going to be aggressive. And look, I give them all the credit in the world for the De'Aaron Fox trade. I think it was brilliant. They've got their point guard. They've got their guy to move forward with. They've got Stephon Castle, who is just, this year, he should win Rookie of the Year. We'll see, but he should win Rookie of the Year. You've got that, and, of course, you've got Wemby. And by all accounts, he's going to come back, and he's going to be fine. Those 3 guys, build around them. They'll get a lottery pick of something. If they get lucky again, who knows? But they will get a good player out of the draft. And then another veteran or 2 to build around those guys. And I think this team is certainly on its way up.
The good news about last night's game for me is, I had higher for Westbrook. I had higher for Paul and higher for Steph at underdog. So won a little bit of money last night, and that's the only way to make watching the Spurs right now interesting is playing the pick'em game at underdog at fantasy. You've got the Final Four. All the teams are here in town. You want to get an entry in on college basketball. Obviously, baseball season is now in full swing. Underdog is one of the leading sports apps. You can play in Texas, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money with Underdog just by choosing higher or lower on predicted stats. Strikeouts, home runs, hits, 3-pointers, assists, you name it. And you can even mix and match between your leagues and your stars. So you can have some baseball, you can have some golf, you can have college basketball, the NBA, you name it. They've got all your favorite leagues and teams to choose from. So you can create your own entries, have a lot of fun. And again, you could turn $1 into 1,000. Download the Underdog app. Sign up now using the promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code STAR. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
If you travel as much as the San Antonio sports guys travel, while you're on the road, be sure to take us along. Listen to the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star live stream anywhere on the Odyssey radio app.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Springtime is here and baseball season is finally underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond to your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs, you can take your pick of more or less for your shot of 1,000 times your money cash today. I'll say it again. That's today. Because on Prize Picks, you can match your player projections from different sports. Combine your favorite baseball players with your favorite basketball players. Maybe it's hockey. Maybe it's esports. Maybe it's something else. That's why you download Prize Picks. And what you do with Prize Picks is you win $50 instantly. Go download the app today and use the code Alamo. That's Alamo to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app right now. Use the code Alamo. That's $50 instantly. Just play your lineup. Prize Picks. Hey, go run your game. I love Prize Picks because I'm not alone. There's millions of us playing, and you can win. It's easy. More or less. You better go run your game now.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit RoxDiscountVitamins.com.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut quality water softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com. and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Join us for San Antonio's premier fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by HEB, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta!
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live at the Valero Texas Open. First round about to wrap up. We got a new leader.
Yeah, Sam Ryder. 9 under par round of 63 today. He just birdied 18 to finish up, and he leads Keith Mitchell by 1 shot.
And Jordan Spieth, who had an awful tee shot, looked like it bounced and hit a dude on a cart. He ended up birdieing. He's now 5 under.
Dude, that's why I love that guy. He's the scramblingest dude you'll ever see. He got lucky, and I think the guy hitting the guy on the head gave him a 20 extra yards, but he knocked it right up there and made the putt. So
remember the old Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, McDonald's commercials?
You know, exactly.
I'm going to hit this one way over there. I'm going to hit that dude in the head, and it's going to roll forward. That would work. He's teeing off now on 18, Jordan Spieth is, and this one looks to be far better than his last one.
Absolutely. Looks like it's right in the middle of the fairway. And, of course, keep in mind the 18th hole out here is a par 5. It is reachable in 2 for these guys too. So Jordan Spieth could be looking at another birdie as well. So look, it's setting up where you've got some names on the leaderboard, some good players, and keep in mind a guy like Jordan Spieth playing this afternoon. He's got to wake up early tomorrow and play in the morning.
Well, and I know so does Greg Shelton and Rob Thompson and A.J. Hoffman. They'll be out here bright and early tomorrow. So those guys will be out here with those dudes with breakfast sandwiches and bacon and watching them warm up as they get ready for the morning huddle. Now, you just used the term reach. And last Wednesday, there was a dude in Cleveland, and I don't know anything about this guy, nothing. And we didn't know anything about him last week, although checking around, longtime radio guy in Cleveland. By all accounts, not a hack. But he went on his weekly show last week and said that he's heard from Cleveland sources that the Browns were going to make a trade for Dak Prescott. And everybody blew this guy up. It's one of the most far-fetched, dumbest things out there. And we haven't heard from this guy until today. He did a show today because he only works once a week. And he doubled down.
I stand by the statement that I laid out on you last week. This could come about. Let me reiterate what I did hear originally in case you weren't with us last week. Dallas and Cleveland would make a deal. Cleveland would get Dak Prescott. Dallas would get Newsom. And the 33rd pick, that's the first pick in the second round. Now, if there's anything else involved in the deal, I don't know about that. I was not told that. I was not informed about anything else. There could be, for all I know. It's not the second pick in the draft. The Browns would keep that.
Wow.
Interesting.
There's no way.
Well, in that scenario, though, it makes sense because Cleveland would have to take on Prescott's salary.
But again, the money doesn't make sense for the Cowboys and the dead cap and all that kind of stuff. And if the Cowboys were to do that, don't you think they would insist on making sure they got the number 2 pick, not the first pick in the second round? I mean, it sounds dumber today than it did a week ago.
Well, I think, if you remember, and he didn't say this today, but that was the only reason Myles Garrett came back to Cleveland because he was giddy about having Dak Prescott as his quarterback.
All of it. I mean, I'm trying to think what would be worse. What the Vikings gave up for Herschel Walker, or if this were to go down. I mean, especially for the 33rd pick. I mean, because a week ago I thought we were talking about the number 2 overall pick, and then of course there were people like, oh, that means Shadir Sanders, and that could mean and all. It ain't happening financially for the Cowboys because of the dead cap numbers. It makes 0 sense.
It was almost $100 million.
Yes.
So that they would be stuck with it doesn't make any sense. And look, this guy probably has heard this from somebody that he trusts, and he could say that and all of the good stuff. But it doesn't make financial sense for the Cowboys, number one. And number two, I don't know how it makes sense for the Cleveland Browns, quite frankly, who still have that albatross Deshaun Watson hanging over their head.
Yeah, again, it makes 0 sense. We do have some other breaking news. Another quarterback is signed. Case Keenum has just signed a 1-year deal with the Chicago Bears worth up to $3 million.
Good for him.
Good. I think about everything that Case Keenum did in Houston for C.J. Stroud. At one time, I thought he was going to end up coaching Houston. I'm surprised he left, but if $3 million to go work in Chicago, up to, I mean, Case Keenum is just big. Man, has had a hell of a career as a backup quarterback.
Well, he has, and you know what? You said it all. What he did in Houston, helping the young quarterback, he's going to do the same thing in Chicago. I mean, Caleb Williams will benefit greatly from Case Keenum and the knowledge that he possesses. So, good move for the Chicago Bears. I'm happy for Case Keenum. That's good. If Caleb Williams can improve, that Chicago team is going to be something to be reckoned with.
Well, I mean, yes, but that's a big if, and that's, you go with everything when it comes to that. Now, quarterbacks getting paid today. Geno Smith got a 2-year extension with the Raiders. They make the trade for him. They give him a deal that's worth up to $75 million, although then you look at the guarantees, but still a hell of a deal for one Geno Smith.
Well, I think the guarantee is $66 million.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a hell of a deal. 2 years, $33 million per. Good for Geno Smith, and he's going to get a new chance there in Las Vegas. I wonder what they're going to do. Will they draft a quarterback? Again, all signs point to them taking Ashton Genty with that 6th pick. But I wonder if they go and look for one later in the draft.
You know, you wonder, because it looks like Geno's going to be their bridge guy. You get a Genty. But when you look at mock drafts, normally this time of year, you start seeing quarterbacks climb. Like, you look at last year's draft. Anybody have Bo Nix going in the top 15?
No.
Anybody have Michael Penix going in the top 10?
No.
You know, but right now you've got Cam Ward at number 1. That seems to be a consensus going to Tennessee. But Shedeur Sanders is the one that is sliding. If Shedeur is on the board at 6 when the Raiders are picking, what do they do? I mean, there was a lot of early indications that they might move up to get him. But if you think, well, he's going to end up in New York, well, how many quarterbacks is New York going to have now that they got Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson? Cleveland, what are they going to do, right, at number 2? But if Shedeur Sanders slides and the Raiders have to make a decision, well, I think that could be where really the fun begins in this draft.
Well, it could be, but look, if I'm the Raiders and I'm making that decision, I'm not taking a quarterback there. I'm taking Genty there because the Raiders need a running back. They've got an opportunity to get this guy. They've got an opportunity to improve their team greatly. You've got your quarterback at least for the next 2 years, Shedeur is a roll of the dice. I mean, let's be honest. The guy's talented. There's no question. But I think he's going to be a project. I don't think he's a day one starter for anybody. Working a couple of years behind Geno Smith would be fantastic for him. But I don't think they pass up on the opportunity to draft Ashton Genty if he's there at 6. And by all accounts, he will be.
Now, for the Cowboys' backup quarterback spot, you can scratch quarterback off the draft board for Dallas. I'd be shocked if they took a quarterback in the draft because today they made official something that we've heard about for about 2 weeks. They made the trade with New England for Joe Milton III. And again, every time I think of Joe Milton, all I think about is that 81-yard run he had against UTSA on the first series. I know he's played well at Tennessee, played well in the preseason last year and in the one regular season game for New England. And the Cowboys, they don't give up much for him. They get a quarterback and a 7th-round pick. They give up a 5th. And remember, they had a lot of 5th-round picks this year because of all the compensatory picks. And my guess is they looked at who they thought they could get in the 5th or 6th round at quarterback and probably figured Joe Milton is better.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got some experience, right? I mean, he's played a year in the NFL. I think it was I don't mind this move at all. In fact, I think this might have been one of their best. They needed a backup. You need a quarterback that you maybe can hope that can make something out of himself and maybe be the next. Who knows? But I think it was a good move for the Cowboys. I really do. And now that's done, they can move on and use the draft for other things.
Well, and they've got a lot of other things. And what I find interesting, according to Jordan Schultz from Fox, a lot of teams were interested in Joe Milton. In fact, the Patriots had a better offer on the table for him, but Joe wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy. And out of respect for what Joe Milton wanted, they took a lesser deal to send him to Dallas. Apparently his family grew up as Cowboy fans, and he's now excited to be a member of the Dallas Cowboys, and he's got 3 years left on his deal.
Well, this will be a Hallmark movie one day because the Patriots are generous people, and they're going to do what they think is best for young Joe Milton. Mm-hmm. Look, it's good for him, and if he's happy, that's good, and he'll play well. He'll get a lot of reps. Look, Dak Prescott is not going to be ready, certainly for the OTAs this summer. Who knows about training camp? We'll wait and see. But Joe Milton will get a lot of reps and a lot of time to learn that system and get comfortable in it. So good move for the Cowboys. I like it, and hopefully it pays off for them.
You know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
It is time for What's on Tap, presented by Sam's Burger Joint. You can go online at samsburgerjoint.com where you can get your tickets to the shows, see the entire calendar, the menu. It's fantastic. J.D. McPherson is on the stage at Sam's Burger Joint tonight. Tomorrow night, the Joe Panther Band. On Saturday, Carolyn Hale will be out there. And on Sunday, Fiesta Blues Heritage Series with Carolyn Wonderland.
Well, if you're looking for something else to do tonight, Green Hall has the Lee Mathis duo. The College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Championships are tonight at the Frost Bank Center. That ought to be a lot of fun. At the Tobin Center, you got the Wizard of Oz on ice. That's interesting. Are they going to have that lion rolling around on ice skates?
Yes, that's exactly what they're going to do.
That should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Mamma Mia at the Majestic Theater and Josh Francis at the LOL Comedy Club.
On Friday, start your downtown festivities with us, the Blitz, live at the Agave Bar, the Flight by Yingling Hoop headquarters. We're there 2 to 6. Then, of course, you've got the music festival happening at the convention center. Of course, Fan Fest is going on. Pitbull is the headliner tomorrow night. Over at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, good friend Charlie Bravo Band is going to be out there. Go see Duke. He's a good dude. Spurs and Cavs at the Frost Bank Center. Green Hall has Los Tex Maniacs with special guest Jimmy Vaughn. That'll be a good show. The Logan Ryan Band at Flores Country Store. At the Techport, something called Spirit Box. Yeah, I don't know.
Spirit Box, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Jason Isbell is at ACL Live. That will be one hell of a show. Missions. They're taking on those sod poodles in their home opener.
Home opener tomorrow night. What's the season opener too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Saturday out of Green Hall, Slade Coulter is performing out there. Flores Country Store on Saturday night has a musical tribute to Johnny Bush by Justin Trevino. That might be pretty fun. And then, of course, the Tower at Hemisphere Park, you've got NCAA March Madness, Music Festival, Jelly Roll, T-Pain, and Willow Avalon. And, of course, at the Alamo Dome, the Final Four will be taking place on Saturday night. Missions taking on the Sod Poodles as well. And, well, at Bluebonnet Palace, you've got the Texas Eagles. That's an Eagles tribute band.
Sunday, Green Hall, Dallas Borough will be out there. Boeing Center at the Techport, the Babies Final Four Madness. ACL Live has Solid Pink Disco with DJ Trixie with Never Dull and DJ Mateo Sagade, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
Whatever.
That's it.
Now, are they going to be out there? What were you saying earlier? In your high heels and
And the high heels, yes.
Your platform
shoes.
Sunday, the March Madness Music Festival has Chris Stapleton, Nathaniel Ratliff, and the Night Sweats, Benson Boone, and Brothers Osborne. Of course, Fan Fest is still going on there at the Convention Center. The HBCU All-Star Game will be going on at Freeman Coliseum. And at Idle Beer and Brewing down on Brooklyn, they've got a Papa Shot qualifying tournament from 3 to 6. The winner will qualify for the Papa Shot National Championship, which will be broadcast live on ESPN this fall. I imagine Pledge is going to be all over that, which is why he put that in there. But another one of those very cool things that are happening because of the Final Four. And, of course, the Missions continue their series with those Sod Poodles.
And, of course, Monday night, you got a championship game. Who's it going to be? Houston, Duke, Florida, Auburn? What two teams will survive? We'll find out when they play Monday night. And then, of course, the Fan Fest continues, presented by Capital One at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center.
Tuesday, the live music continues. Slim Bob and the Fabulous Stump Grinders are going to be out at Green Hall Tuesday night. Jim Henson is at the Tobin Center, and Damon Darling, the comedian, out at LOL Comedy Club.
Jim Henson, he's getting around because he goes to ACL Live on Wednesday. How about that?
Yeah.
Nice. Stop in San Antonio first?
Well, of course.
Sure.
What's on Tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint. Again, online at samsburgerjoint.com. You'll see, get your tickets, the menu, all that good stuff. Couple minutes left in the show, a story that we didn't get to earlier. And guys, this is a story that just whatever, don't miss your shot. You never know what could cause you to miss out on an opportunity. But Livy Dunn and her dude, what's his name, Paul Skeens, they do an interview with GQ. And in this interview with GQ, and Paul said he didn't even know what that was.
You know what GQ was?
He didn't know what GQ was.
What kind of hillbilly is he?
Well, I mean, Livy says that she almost didn't want to date him.
Yeah, he's a fool.
Because he never followed her back on Instagram initially.
The only man on the planet that's not doing that.
Well, the only man at LSU at the time. I mean, think about it.
Wow.
You know, and he's like, well, I have Instagram. I just didn't really check it all that much. I didn't know who she was. We started talking. She followed me, and I didn't follow her back, and that offended her.
Wow. I'm sure it did. Yeah, Livy looks like she could. She might have a little temper. I don't know. I have no idea.
All I'm saying, guys, especially you single guys, if a hot chick follows you, make sure you follow back. They pay attention to those things.
Absolutely, they do. Absolutely. I got to show you this before we leave.
Uh-oh.
There is a picture of Cooper Flagg inside the Spurs practice facility.
Well, that's where Duke has been practicing.
I understand, but it's a great shot. You got the championship banners behind him, and maybe a sign of the times to come.
Well, let's hope, because even Duke on their social media posted a great drone video of the facility, thanking the Spurs for letting them work out there. Of course, one of David Robinson's kid is on the staff there at Duke, and I would imagine that Cooper Flagg has heard a lot about San Antonio and the Spurs organization. But you're right, maybe that is a sign of things to come, because, you know, they could have – who's practicing at Central Catholic? Is it Houston? Right? I mean, Duke could have been anywhere, but no, Duke, now granted, they have the David Robinson connection. They got the Spurs facility.
They did, and that looks really good, I'll tell you that. Cooper Flagg inside the Spurs practice site, and, well, who knows? Who knows if this kid's even going to go to the NBA next year?
Dude, even you're starting to buy in on the Spurs winning the lottery yet again.
No, I'm not.
I'm looking at – you've been staring at that picture for 10 minutes.
Well, I have, and I think it's a great picture, and it would be a great sight to see.
The morning huddle back here at the Valero Texas Open tomorrow from 6 to 10. The Blitz live tomorrow at the Flight by Yingling Hoop headquarters at the Agave Bar. Have a great Thursday, everybody.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
San Antonio, the NCAA 2025 Men's Final Four is coming April 4th through the 7th.